Hello. I'm testing out my second cam. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm trying to use OBS this time so I can actually have a higher resolution. But if you can hear me, let me know. I'm just going to try to add the other camera as well, if it lets me. Video capture device. There it is. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, good. Let's try. Yeah, it's weird. It's not letting me do the USB video device.
Oh, there it is. Hello. In theory, that should appear. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Nice.
All right, get this out of the way now.
There we go. Now this time you should be able to see me as well, rather than just my hands. And I think I should be able to see the chat now. This is way better. Echo now. Okay, yeah, I'll fix that. Yeah, I know why that is. I forgot that the webcam has sound.
Okay, there should be no more echo now. I forgot that the Razer has a built-in microphone. Echo gone? There we go. Nice. All right. So I just built a PC. I actually didn't do it on a stream, which I should have. It was an NVIDIA 4070 Ti with an AMD 5800X3D. I kind of just had a bunch of parts left. And I was like, I'm going to build this and I'm going to sell it also cheap. And I still have some parts left. And I wasn't going to build anything with this one, with these parts. But I found a couple refurb units on locally at Memory Express. And then I picked up a couple used parts as well. So I decided I can actually build something kind of nice here with these parts. So the first thing is a 7800 XT, which I've had in the past. I actually have a video comparing this to a 6950 XT. And it's a fantastic GPU. It's a fantastic GPU. So I'm going to use this. I actually wanted to do some follow-up data. So before I sell the desktop for cost, I will probably do a couple of videos because I have data recently on a 7900 XT, 7900 XTX, 7900 GRE, and a 4080, and I want to compare all of them. Kind of the top end NVIDIA or top end AMD options, really. Well, all of actually they are. They are literally the top end AMD options from 7800 and above. So that'll be a cool thing. I'll just do some, bring some data out. So this is a refurb unit, brand new refurb. No, this one's an open box, sorry. And it was actually not opened, so I opened it. That was cool. I don't even know if it works, but I'm assuming it does. This here is a B650 Edge Wi-Fi. This one was refurb. So I got this from Memory Express in Calgary, and it was a refurb unit, and they tested and everything, which is nice. So they don't sell garbage. I mean, it's still possible there's something wrong, but that they missed. But in theory, it should be good to go. I picked up some Kingston Fury Beast DDR5, 32 gigabytes locally off a guy. Used, but should be fine. I picked up a 7800 X3D locally from a guy as well. So that was nice. Yeah, and I just picked up some other, that's primarily new stuff, used stuff. I have some a case in that I bought before. I have a cooler as well. I'll bring the case is big, but we'll grab the other stuff first. I can bring this into the screen. I also have some hard drives, some brand new hard drives, brand new condition hard drives. I have some SSDs in that too, so I was like, all right, I got to get rid of all this stuff. I have so much crap. It's better than selling it individually, so I think it'll make my life easier. I'm going for an all-white build, other than the GPU. I actually started acquiring some of this stuff, and then the GPU was not white, but it was very cheap. I got it for 500 Canadian dollars, which is, I don't even know, 380 US, something like that, for the 7800 XT. I hope the chat is not frozen, by the way. Let's see. Looks like it might be, or just no one's interested in talking to me anymore. Nope. Okay, cool. This interface is totally new to me, so just making sure. Yeah, so I got this locally. I've used MSI power supplies before. They're really nice, actually. I had the 1000 watt version of this, the MSI P850. Yeah, there's not very many people here. There's only 4 people here, so it's like a really random time on a Saturday. So, and I didn't announce this. I just decided if I'm already going to be building, I might as well stream it. So that's a white power supply, really nice power supply. These MSI Mag ones, they run very quiet. So that's 850 watts. That's more than enough for this, to be honest. I'm going to do this PC as it is. If no one's interested, I'll actually swap them. I'll put the 4070 Ti with the more powerful 7800 X 3D, and I'll put the AMD with the 5800 X3D. Both incredibly good CPUs, but I just feel like the new stuff, some people want the new stuff. So picked up these from Amazon. They were cheap. So I think that's everything other than the case. The case is way too big to fit here with all this stuff. So I'll have to take some of this out now, put it off camera, and then I'll get the case. The case was also a really good price as well. It's a white kind of cuboidal style glass case, which I like the way they look. I actually prefer like the thinner style cases, but I don't know. Some people, it seems like nowadays it's the square cases. All right, so I'll just be silent for 1 second while I take this huge case out of this box. Can't fit it on camera. It's an NZXT H6 Flow, and it's white. And I got it for 120 Canadian, which is about 95 US dollars. Also a good price. It's a little big, but I mean, this is what people like these days, I guess. So I'm personally a bit more interested in the semi-small form factor stuff. Let's pull this off here. Oh, such a big case. Oh, crap. Couldn't give us 1/50th of a millimeter in the XT. Jeez. Look at the size of this. This is why people go for small form factor cases. This behemoth. Hello, 1080p, yeah. My camera does do 4K, but at least it's 1080p this time. I'm going to try later to do 4K. But my previous stream was like, whatever the heck my phone let me do. 720 or some garbage. It's a big ass case. Holy crap. It's bigger than I thought. These NZX cases are huge. Alright, I feel like I thought it was smaller than that. Whatever. It's a nice case though. Let me get this over here so you can get a little bit more light on it. Yeah, so it's an H6 case is what it's called. And it's pretty nice looking, I guess. I'm impartial to these glass style ones, but I can see why people like them. They have a nice clean look to them. Let me get a little bit more light here in the background. We can start building. So this is kind of a trial run for me using OBS through YouTube so I can get a hang of how it works. If I'm doing something like a laptop review or something that, I need to be done very well the first time. So yeah, I appreciate you guys coming to check out and troubleshoot if there's any problems. We'll try 4K next time for a laptop, because that laptop review, the last few that I did, they were such bad resolution. Okay, so a few of these parts, these are all used and refurbed and stuff. So the only thing that's really new here is the case, I guess. Oh, and the power supply. So we're gonna really hope. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's very white. Oh, you've seen this? Yeah, I'm going with the all white case. It's actually full of like wires and stuff. These are really nice cases because they're like magnetized. So it's surprising what you can do with just like a random case that you can find. If you're like, some of your parts aren't like propped up on random boxes, are you even a gamer? I don't think so. I don't know if these will be needed. Again, this is a refurb. It looks like all the parts are here. Gee, there is some stuff. Some of the motherboard screws. Hopefully the case has motherboard screws. or we're going to be SOL, because those actually are not in here. And I don't think I have very many. But we'll see. RIP to the camera. And, oh, and the cooler as well. This is a really nice cooler you guys can get. I put it in the other build. It's over there, and it did a really good job of keeping the 5800. Yeah, killed that. Need Raleigh to show up. Our local dentist. Is he a dentist? Does he work in dentistry? But yeah, these are really nice. You can get these for good prices sometimes. And they're 3 fans. And I found it not too... It's a little noisy, I would say, the fans on them. But I've used way noisier liquid cooling solutions. So this is a good option. It's a 3 fan, so it's actually pretty big. It'll fit just fine in here, but yeah, they're reasonably priced, is what I'll say. Some of these parts, you know, they can get pretty expensive. So I find liquid cooling can also get really expensive for some reason. Oh, the O's on the front. Isn't that a nice case? It's huge, but it's quite nice. And if you want to hide your parts, you could turn it around that way. I guess maybe the stuff's in here. There you are, a little box of goodies. What do we have in here? Twist tie. Excerpt. Hey, man. Hey, we have 9 people here. I didn't think there would be almost nobody. Wouldn't be nobody in here on a random Saturday. But what are you going to watch? Netflix? Garbage. Netflix is garbage. These days, at least. What the hell? This is such a strange case. So that comes out. This is cool. I really like this. It's got like a tray here. Once I get these parts out, I'll go through the case here with you guys. How does that... I guess maybe that goes back in. Does that... How does that go up? I'm baffled. Is it just really snug? Yeah, it's pretty snug. I don't see any other screws. There's that one, which I took out, and I don't see any other screws here. No, it's strange. There we go. I just had to get angry a little bit, get a little spicy. We had the boys. The Nucks, Oilers. Oh, what's the game on that? What's the series on that? It's unfortunate that Canadian teams suck in the playoffs, like as a law, and then they always play each other. So it's like double suckage, and it's like any chance. Oh, there we go. Any chances we might have had of like getting far are immediately nuked because we play each other. It's funny because also like a lot of the teams that actually do win are heavily Canadian focused in terms of the players, but our actual teams suck. That's a cool case. So that's, I guess you can put your hard drive in there. 2 SSDs, I guess you'd slide up there. So dual SSD, hard drive, power supply mount, good wire management there. Lots of ports to go through. It's a really nice case. It's got a portal down there. You guys see all this? Yeah, you can. Oh, I'm actually need to move my face. Hold on. I need to move my stupid face. Get out of here, Bo. Here, you can go where the Colgate is. You don't need to see my Colgate. My white ass teeth. It's a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I got it for CES actually. It was very expensive. It was like $1,000. And because I got like the streamer bundle because it has the dual battery. There's one battery there. There's another battery over here. It came with the little webcam. Web mic thingy. It's really cool. This is one of the price error cases. Yeah, this is the one that it was. No, this wasn't a price error. This one was $129 on Amazon, just a standard good price. And then I priced beat at Memory Express because Memory Express is nice. And it went down to $125, which for this case is a steal, to be honest. The price error case you're talking about, I actually traded it. There's a bent pin on that RGB, I just noticed. I actually traded it and some cash for a GPU to a homie on the Discord. I met her today. I've already met her before, but we met up today, and I gave her the case, and she gave me a card, and then I also gave her some money I didn't pay that much for the case. I just didn't want to return it because that's a stupid thing to do. Even though it was like $250, I paid, I don't know, whatever, 110 or something. I was like, I'm not returning this case, so I know someone will want that price. And lo and behold, she had a GPU that I wanted. That looks good. Straight enough. That was an RGB pin that was bent. And I am going to put nauseatingly amounts of GPU. It's actually like an older 2019 era, 2018 era, like a productivity card, 16 gigabyte productivity card. I don't remember the name. Oh, something blue. You can look it up. I can't remember what it's called. But it's like, I'm getting into this new fad right now where I'm doing all these productivity desktops and small form factor GPUs and productivity machines and things like that, like old business machines, and kind of enhancing them. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, sick. I actually messaged her not knowing it was her. And then she was like, hey, Bo. I was like, oh, I know you. Let's do a trade. But that's my thing right now. I just want to kind of see how far I can push some of these like really low wattage business GPUs like Quadros and stuff. Just what can you do with them? And I was gaming last night on 4K with DLSS on a fairly old productivity GPU, like a little thin RTX 4000. It was getting crazy good frames on that. So it does kind of give me a little bit of reassurance that my plan is not futile to go basically running laptop only, and then also just like a little productivity business machine or something. I think that's more than enough for me. As long as my laptop is powerful. I was going to do the other way around. Go fairly weak laptop, like a ThinkPad without a DGPU, and that would be fine. And then get a powerful desktop. But I realize I do most of my work on my laptop, so I just need to have... I need to have a good laptop, to be honest, which is fine. I mean, my channel is primarily laptop stuff. And then I can have an okay desktop. As long as it has one of those productivity GPUs, I'll be laughing, to be honest. I'll be just ripping through my projects. Yeah, so I only saw that one bent pin, wherever that went. Everything else looks good. We checked the pins at Memory Express, which they do, which is nice. No accidentally left NVMEs. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's a nice looking motherboard, though. Can I do this standing? Do I have that skill set? I might. All right, you guys can see that okay. Let me bring that up slightly. A little bit more to the right, a little bit to the left. There you go. I like the DJI. I can do that without having to touch the camera too much. Okay, so I can't exactly see what I'm doing. That looks like it already has the shield on, the IO shield on it. So it should just be as simple as lining up this thing wherever it is. If I can see it. There we are. Isn't that a good fit? Hell yeah. You do more type mini ITX builds which are targeted productivity, 3D render. Exactly. Yes, you're absolutely right with the temperatures, Exert. Last night I had this like business machine. I have a few small form factor ones over there, like pretty small form factors. And they're like OEM small form factors. So it's not like you're putting in aftermarket parts or aftermarket cooling. You can, but they don't come with it. And yeah, the GPU was running nice and cool, and the CPU was running super hot because the case itself has garbage cooling, and then the CPU fan is just like an NVIDIA stock cooler, and it was a 10700, which is warm. It's not like the hottest CPU, but it was definitely thermal throttling. So I'm gonna have to do why not a mini? I have mini PCs. I want to be able to play with the like the low profile GPUs. Like I have the A2000 75 watt. I have a 3050 RTX 3050 that runs 35 watt off of the motherboard. Like there's no PCI at all, and they're pretty small. Like they're about that big. I have mini PCs, like tons of them. I have 3 at least, maybe 4, but they're for videos. And I do like mini PCs, but for me, like those mini, like the AMD ones are pretty expensive. They're like $800 to get into like a top of the line AMD one, which you can game with. I mean, it's more powerful than a ROG Ally, more powerful than a Legion Go, but you have only access to eGPUs, which is cool. I can do that, and I'm doing that for my videos, hooking up eGPUs. I got a 1080 Ti on the ground here, which I'm going to be using to test those 1080 Ti, EVGA. I'm going to be using this to test those mini PCs just to see if they actually do support eGPUs, because some of them don't, even if they have USB 4. USB 4, they claim. I've already found one that didn't. But I also like the idea of just being able to slap in like a really small case, just slap in a productivity GPU, like a 75 watt thing like that. And it'll just help me do my video stuff. And if I want a game, sure, which I will. But a lot of them, like the 3050 should be fine. It's board power. The A2000 is around the same capabilities. It's 12 gigabytes of VRAM, so it'll be very capable. And they both should be able to do 4K with a lot of upscaling or 1080p native. The RTX 4000 that I tested last night for quite a bit it was surprisingly capable. 4K with like middle DLSS, and it was good. And it has real DLSS, not FSR. You see the gaming router looking like mini PC with a laptop grade GPU. I did not see that. So it's a router looking mini PC. Is it Asus? Asus has I saw it at CES. It's pretty small. It's like a tall, skinny thing. Maybe like that. I don't even know. I'd say it's half a sheet of paper. If you get a sheet of paper like this, it was about half a sheet of paper tall, and then as wide as like a little book. And it had it had 3070 or 4070 in it. Chinese random brand. The Asus had the one. Asus actually told me they were going to send it to me at CES. They were like, "We like you. We're going to send you things," and then they ghosted me. So, and then I made a really angry Asus sucks video. So that's never going to happen. Burn that bridge. Just gasolined it. Pretty random parts, like a 12900H with a 3060 mobile. That's a weird pairing. It's like, I guess if you're going to do CPU tasks for like Call of Duty and things like that, like heavy CPU gaming, because a 3060 mobile is way too weak for a 12900. But yeah, if you're doing like that kind of gaming, I wish there was a light going this way. I think if I adjust that light, you guys will get better lighting, because I don't think the contrast is very good for you guys. I can see it, but I'm a human. That's right in my face, but I think you guys can. Yeah, that looks better for you guys. I like that. I'm going to bring you over. And I'm going to bring you over so you get a better look. Okay, and I'm still on camera. The DJI is right in front, right dead center. Okay, so this is the 7800 X3D. I had one of these for like 1 month, and then I upgraded to a 7950 X3D, which is, in my opinion, the best consumer CPU on the market. And I had a 4090, and I had all this cool stuff, and then I was like, what am I doing? I don't even need any of this to make me happy. I got rid of it. And then I realized I do like the process of building quite a bit, but you have to be careful to not overspend. And I also like just like the quirkiness of like business machines, small form factors, just things that are interesting. Because yeah, anyone can take anyone who has money can take all that money and throw it at a very powerful, gaming rig, and you're going to get crazy performance. And you can, search for sales and that and keep your prices down. But when it comes down to it, like that's the easy way out. Whereas I like the idea of taking something that's like probably not meant to do that and then making it do that. Good morning from India. Hello, Vinu Kala. I'm going to shed my sweater because it is now very hot here. Luckily, I had her shirt underneath, or I'd be demonetized and banned. Yeah, it's got really hot in here. Calgary is like wild weather. Okay, so I'm going to put that in. He said the pins were good. I did a quick inspection with him. Pull that off first. The pins do be looking good. Refurb board, like I said. And I think MSI does the refurbing and then sends it back to them. Oh, that's upside down. So hopefully, I'm probably going to have to lay this down for a sec because I do not want to bend the pins. So excuse me for a moment. You will see almost nothing. Although, if I let you see the glass side, you might be able to see inside anyways. So if this was Intel LGA 700, they have those brackets that go around them. I have another one that I bought, but I'm not going to need that because AMD has better pressure. Actually, Gamers Nexus just did a video on that, talking about like the pressure distribution on Intel versus AMD when you have your cooler on there. And AMD came out like just generally pretty good because they're more square, whereas Intel is longer and it's more prone to bending. And then you get inequitable coverage of your CPU and the cooler. So the CPU and the cooler, and it's not touching properly, and so it doesn't cool. Technically, if you had like a perfectly 100% to the like micron level smooth cooler and smooth CPU, you probably wouldn't even need thermal paste, but that's not reality. So thermal paste basically gets, you have grooves in your CPU a little bit, but you also have a lot of grooves usually in your cooling solution, and you put them on top of each other and they don't groove properly. And so thermal paste goes in between them and make sure they're contacting one another. Okay, that looks pretty good. That was easy to set up. The nice thing about these big cases is they're easy to set up. I've been doing some like tweaking of like Legion desktops and stuff, and they can be a pretty big pain in the butt. So the AIO is going to go up there. This has a weird tray down here. It's such a strange case. Is there like a thing that goes over that? I don't know. So I got these Thermalright fans. We'll put these in now. It's probably easier to do it now than later. I don't have a knife around me. Yeah, so this is just a stream. I was actually I was going to build this anyways, and I decided if I'm going to stream anyways, if I'm going to build this anyways, I might as well stream, because I want to get an idea of how to use this platform here for future when I do laptop like unboxings and kind of first impressions. Because using it off my phone had really bad resolution, and it just didn't look good. So I know it's hard to manage cameras and stuff. So I decided, I might as well take a test run doing a PC build on a random Saturday. And I knew probably not many people would show up, but that's okay. So that's the fan there. These have RGB. Just feed that through there. This is a really nice case, actually. I really like this. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Yeah, you can. There's like a groove there. These are spaced weird, like for 140 millimeter fans. That's unfortunate. Maybe they want the AIO to go down there. If I recall correctly, though, putting your AIO on a bottom is actually bad, according to, I think, Gamers Nexus, maybe someone else. That's weird, though. These fans are like straight up too small for the bottom. I'll put one on the back, but I want it to blow air into the GPU as well, just because it looks cool. But that's weird, yeah. These are, so you can see in here, these are 140 millimeter standoffs. And it's not like, I can just change that, can I? Because these holes are, no, there's no like smaller one. So you're kind of stuck with 144 millimeters. So I'll have 140 millimeters. So I'll have to buy some 140 millimeter fans. Which subject do I teach in university? Well, my primary subject, like the arcing, is GIS, computer mapping, remote sensing, that kind of stuff. And then it depends on the subtopic. So I do it in relation to human health. I do it in relation to planning. Planning is a big one. I taught planning department for several years. GIS and planning. I've taught a biology-based GIS course. Biology, like environmental biology, not human biology. And I've taught environmental sciences, or earth sciences, technically. That's what I do. He just turned down trading his A750 for an OLED switch. Ooh, that's a rip. An A750 is like worth $250 now. Maybe 180. I could probably get one for 180 any day, but probably 200. And an OLED switch has still got to be 350. Ziv Zoolander, 140 millimeter is a weird limitation. Yeah, it is strange. I mean, it'll blow gently as a result with those there, but it's just weird that there is no ability to put in those fans there, like at all. There's no standoff. You think they would just cut another hole, and I could just move them inwards. Now, like I need one of those for the back regardless. I knew that, but I wanted to put two here, and then I was potentially just going to get another fan because it has three. But I'll put one on the back here, I guess, and then I don't know, I'll have two random ass fans for something else. And I'll get, like, I know Arctic does make PWM 140 millimeter fans on the bottom. They won't be RGB though. And if I buy 140 millimeter RGB fans, they're probably going to cost a freaking fortune. And this build is meant to be as low cost as possible because I'm trying to sell this at my cost. I don't want to make money. I don't make money off these things. So the cheaper I can sell it, the cheaper the buyer can get it, and the easier it is for me. So, but I don't know. Maybe they won't care that there's no fans on the bottom. This thing is going to have enough airflow anyways. And the GPU going in here is not hot. A 7800 XT is not very hot. So it's not actually going to be a problem, but I don't know. I wanted to make it pretty. If I had a bigger desk, which one day I will when I'm a professional YouTuber, I would have brought in the black case that I built, which is really nice. That one has a 4070 Ti, a Spider-Man edition, which I got for a really good price, Spider-Verse edition, and a 5800 X3D, yada yada. But that case was actually very easy to build. It was a Sama, S-A-M-A, who are becoming more and more popular in my eyes of late. Ah, yes, the Zotac. Yeah, it's a Zotac. It's kind of cool. It comes with like all kinds of like collector's edition stickers and stuff. And I thought it was kind of like the 4070 is probably like the worst GPU launch in the past 2 years. Not because of bad GPU, but because the price of it didn't really make sense for a 12 gigabyte GPU. You would go with a 4070 or you would go with a 4080. Now there's a 4070 Ti Super, which is completely invalidated that GPU for new. But I got it for a good price. And the other thing is because it's unique, like it's the Spider-Man one, it is actually legitimately cool. And it's not a bad GPU. I was testing it last night. It's very fast. So like there's no performance issues with that GPU. It just purely comes down to is it worth it? And surprisingly those Spider-Man ones are cheaper than other options. So I guess some people don't want them, but you can actually take off the Spider-Man plate. So it doesn't make any sense to me. And the Zotac card without the plate looks quite nice, actually. Very aesthetic, so to me it makes no sense. So there's the standoff here. I haven't built an AM5 in a little while, like probably almost a year. I didn't remember. I think I take up these ones here. It has legitimately been over a year and I just can't remember. So LGA. Wait, does this thing support AM5? I didn't actually check that before I bought it. Yeah, Ryzen 7000 series. It just doesn't have a bracket? You just mount it straight up? That's weird. You have to like order a bracket? That would be really stupid. That's an LGA bracket. Strange. Let's open the booklet. Where it went. What do they say? Aqua Elite. Maybe you just mount it straight up. AM4, because I did AM4. That other board has the same cooler, and it's AM4. And I'd had a little adapter that I had to hook up there. You can see that there. But maybe AM5 doesn't. What? The hell? It said AMD 7000 series. I can't read Mandarin. That's so strange. Yeah, LGA needs the bracket. AM4, AM5 bracket. Maybe it's just the same. Oh, it's the same. God. Special guy. Couldn't read Mandarin and thought he could. But I couldn't. But it turned out that I couldn't read Mandarin. I remember how to build this now. So this has these long standoff screws. These really long ones that go in this way. I totally forgot about that. Okay. Okay. So I don't think I have to actually take off the back if I recall. It just goes right over it on the other side, if I do recall. If I do declare. Yeah. You don't have to do anything. It was the easier of the two. It's amazing how much I forget like 3 days after I do something. Okay, so that's that there. So now, if I recall, these standoffs these go on and the screws go through into that. That's right, yeah, you don't need the bracket for AMD. You just make it so easy, unlike Intel. How could I doubt thermal right? If you guys have any questions or you want to talk about anything, feel free. I'm a chatty boy. Want to ask me about laptops? If you don't know who I am, I'm Bo. And I primarily do laptops. I'm one of the, I wouldn't say the largest YouTubers for laptops, but one of the most prolific for laptops. And I focus on user level reviews. Desktops are something that I do myself, but it's not my focus on my channel. Because in my eyes, how can I compete with Gamers Nexus anyways? So, and I'm not as entertaining as LTT, etc. So who am I? So I stick to laptops, which is something that I know a lot about. Okay, So that's that there. I think, how do I want to mount this cooler? So the cooler is going to be up here. I can bring it down there. I think I'm going to wrap it here. So I'm going to have the wire, the pump cords coming down here, and they'll mount into the bottom or the side here. I think is how I'm going to do it. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it that way. I don't think it, I guess it does kind of matter, because this wants it to be parallel to the RAM, to the denotated WAM. Yeah, like that. Okay. It's actually really easy to build in a large case like this. God, I was messing around with that small form factor one, small form factor last night. Oh my God, I was like tired too. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was just trying to get something going to test it, and I was like delusional, trying to navigate, move things around, upgrade. It is nice to build in a large case, but there's something fun about building in a small case, that, like the limitations that come from that. I've actually started to really appreciate the small form factor. Not fully small form factor, like the little, you know, like whatever they be, 2 liter, 1 gallon cases, if even 1 gallon cases. Something slightly bigger than that, like a very small restrictive case. Battery's running low. Ooh. Hold on 1 second. I forgot to put the charger. That's not a good thing to do. Trick here. Oh yeah, it's not even plugged in. It's just sitting right here. 2 to 7. Just 1 second. That's not the right kind of charger. Steal it from this Asus charger. Yeah. Asus coming in clutch for once, doing something with their lives. Largest actually Canadian tech channel. Yeah. That's a dig, but also possibly, I'm sure there's someone bigger who's like still very Canadian, who isn't like primarily catering to other audiences. Now my largest audience base is actually, number 1 is USA. Number 2 and 3 are almost tied. It's actually India and Canada. Very close. And then there's lots of other countries after that. Germany, UK, Australia, New Zealand. Indonesia is surprisingly large. Most of the places where, you know, they speak a lot of English natively, but there's a lot of places that do not. Some Spanish-speaking countries in that. Obviously Germany. They all speak English, but it's not a first language. Nice case, Owie. It is a nice case. Very nice case, actually. Hardware Canucks. No, they're still big, but they're like... He's taking a dig at them because they kind of are catering very much towards the American audience. You know, they use like American dollars and that kind of stuff. I still speak in Canadian dollars, unlike LTT. I'm also good at converting because I worked retail for so many years. So I can convert numbers in my head. You'll notice when I do weight, Canadians use American, imperial, and Canadian and metric basically interchangeably. We're like the one country in the world that's very much like that. So for me, it's easy to say a currency, swap it in my head because I'm used to American dollars and Canadian. I can do weight, grams, pounds on the fly. I actually don't say, well, yeah, they don't say A enough. Yeah, I say A, but A, people in other countries don't realize that A is not something you just say. Like, I don't know, I can't even do it in the wrong way. Like, how would I use it? I'm going to the store, A. That's not how you use it. A is a question where you want to prompt a response. This is a nice case. A being, what do you think? Tell me what you think. So you know when you sold out when you switched US dollars. Yes, Adam. I still do US dollars, and sometimes I do US first, but I'll be like, I pay in Canadian. I paid $1,000, which is approximately $650 US dollars. The reason that I even convert to US dollars is because most people don't know what a Canadian dollar is worth. So I have a lot of Indian viewers, German, Australian, wherever, and most people hedge their money against the US currency, meaning they can say they hear 1,000 American and they say, you know, that's however many of my currency. Whereas if I say Canadian, then they have to convert and they don't know the number on the fly. They have to go check it, which is, I want to make life easier. So that's why I do both. But I'm Canadian. I pay in Canadian dollars. So I speak Canadian. I speak Canadian, Canadiana. And we use, our primary currency is actually maple syrup, if you didn't know. So I'm actually converting from maple syrup to Canadian dollars, then to a currency you guys would understand. Okay, so that's that there. CPU goes in. RAM, we can put whenever. Where did I put that RAM? This RAM is black, I just realized. All right, I'm going to take a poll. Hold on one second. Canadians don't even know anymore. I have white RAM over here in a pile that has fallen during that collapse. During that calamity of me trying to get that stupid-ass box open. Where did that white RAM go? It actually ejected off of my cabinet, or my surface here. I have no idea where it went. What the hell? Oh, here it is. It fell into the case. All right. So these are both DDR5, so I can use whichever. This is Kingston Fury, 6,000 megahertz, and it has a lower CL. I think it's CL32, so it's fast. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can. So that can go in there. It's black. This is becoming a black and white case because the Mobo is partially black, partially white. The GPU I picked up is black, so it's going to be black and white. So I think we're fine either way, but I'll get you guys to pick because that's more fun. And honestly, I would accept maple syrup. I don't know if you guys know this, but we have like a maple syrup like cartel. Is that the right term? Yeah, it's like a cartel. Like how there's like oil cartels, like oil things. We have that for maple syrup. The other option is Viper, which is also very fast. 56, I believe, on this here. Yes, it is. I think the CL is slightly higher, so it's not quite as fast. This is a very powerful CPU, so what do you guys think? Silver, black, white accents with RGB on the top. No RGB, Kingston Fury, slightly faster RAM. Both 32 gigabytes. Go Viper. Yeah, I think it's going to look cooler. I think you're right. I actually have a mini PC that I'm going to be testing with an AMD 8600G, if you guys know what that is. It's the one that they release like randomly, and it has the really good iGPU in it. Almost the really good iGPU, and that actually will benefit from fast RAM. No RGB, eh? Ooh, we have 2 and 2. I need one more person, so there's two for RGB, 2 for non-RGB, and we have 9 viewers at the time. So there's someone's got to. Next thing to come up is going to be the tiebreaker. Or I'll flip a coin. No RGB. RGB. Oh, and so now we have. Oh, hold on. Now we're back to even again. So we have RGB, no, that's 2, RGB, no RGB, so no RGB. We can switch it anyways. RAM is the easy part. So we'll go Fury, which is the fastest RAM. It's very good. So it all comes down to, do megahertz give you frames or does RGB? Could be RGB. When you add like a better sound system and a muffler to your car and flashing lights underneath your car, it actually goes faster. I don't know if you knew that. RGB on a car adds at least 20 horsepower. Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be the executive decision here, and I'm gonna take that back out. We're going RGB, boys, and because I need the fast RAM for the iGPU system, because that video I'm gonna be testing the iGPU and use it against a really cheap, like board power GPU, like doesn't need a PCI power. Just slap it in your board and you're good to go, and see what kind of advantages that can offer. So to make it fair, I need really, really fast RAM. Yeah, put both in at the same time, just totally different clocks. I've had really difficult time getting quad RAM sticks to work in AM5 or especially Intel, like 13th gen and 14th gen. It's like been such a pain in the ass, and I've been noticing it even on AM5. And then I slapped some into AM4, 5000 series AMD, and it was fine. So I don't know what's up. It could be the RAM itself. Or maybe the motherboards. I don't know. That looks pretty cool, actually. I was just like, it was like halving the speed of my RAM, and then I tried to overclock it to make it work properly. It wasn't working. I was like, nah. The funny thing is I've never used Kingston RAM in a desktop, and I've never used this G-Skill. Who makes the Viper? Oh, it was G-Skill. Oh, it's Patriot. What the hell? I have used Patriot before. One advantage of ITX is you don't have to even think about it. Yeah, exactly. So the business machine that I'm going to be putting in is 2 sticks. Is LOQ Lock Gen 9 good enough for game development? Oh yeah, man. So there's an AMD one and an Intel. Won't matter which one you get. I'd probably get the AMD just because why not? There is a 1440p screen offering we don't have in Canada. I just reviewed the 1080p version. It's actually a really nice screen. So either of the screens are fine. It's both 100% sRGB. I would push you towards the 4060 over the 4050. Obviously, more VRAM is important. More VRAM is better. Recommend you a 4060 laptop with a great screen. There's so many, man. If you want a large one, 16-inch, there is the Yoga 9i from Lenovo. There's the G16 from Asus, if you're willing to trust them. Both have excellent screens. There is the Lenovo Legion 7i Slim, but it's not called Slim anymore. That comes with a 3.2K screen. I bought that screen, it's over there, on a ThinkBook 16p as well. That's basically a Legion, it's the same thing. And I have that over there. It's Intel. If you want max power, the ThinkBook 16p has a 14th gen Intel rather than being Core Ultra. It's powerful, and it has that really nice screen. Do I want to use Thermalright? Yeah, let's use Thermalright. I didn't get my paste. Did a local or something on server get the AGM pad? Oh no, some guy showed local. Local guy picked it up this morning, really early. He messaged me last night and he said he wanted the pad, so I said sure. I gave it to him for cheap and whatever. Everyone on the Discord server is tired of my sales. They're like, they're completely exasperated because I sell. If you guys don't know, I sell stuff on my server. Unfortunately, you do have to be Canadian or American. I buy stuff. Most of the stuff that I review, I buy, like laptops and stuff. Lenovo does send me laptops. They sent me 2 Legions so far, and they've offered to send me other Legions, but usually I already have done the review. They offered to send me the Yoga 9i the other day, but I had already reviewed it. But they do send me ThinkPads and stuff from time to time. But most of the stuff that I review, I buy, like the vast majority. And I'm not rich, so what I do is I buy them for as cheap as I can. Sometimes if it's a brand new thing, I just pay full price. And then I sell them locally or sometimes to people on Discord. People on Discord, if they're American or Canadian, can buy them. I sell them at a loss, obviously. So they just get the laptop for a pretty good price. And I can move them faster, meaning I can go on to the next unit because I don't have that kind of money. I don't have any sponsors or anything like that. I do really appreciate Lenovo sending me a laptop. Gigabyte sent me a laptop recently. I have a really cool video coming with Best Buy, actually. Best Buy Canada, at least, has a good sale coming up. A big sale. It's actually just started, but they have like the PC stuff starting next week. And then they have like a laptop one coming up. So they reached out to me and said, do you want to do a review? Not a sponsored video or anything like that, but they sent me a bunch of stuff. They asked me like, what would be a cool video? And I said, you know what, let's go with like a really low cost setup where I have like a laptop. I have this laptop, picked a really nice budget laptop, a nice good screen, but not overly expensive, and some upgrades, some other stuff, which I won't spoil. And like, what can you do to set up like a desktop-like setup with a laptop and a screen? You can take the laptop with you, if you're a student or a professional, take it to work with you, go back home, plug in your laptop, and you have your setup there. So it's a gaming PC on the go, basically, and not expensive. And that's my thing, is like, what can we do with that? Because I can build expensive desktops. It doesn't mean everyone can afford them. Yeah. So, anyways, that's going to be a really cool video, and it's going to coincide with a big sale that's going on. Yeah, that's cool. So they decided to just, what do you want? What kind of video do you think you can make? And I decided that's a really cool video. I think it's a really cool video. I think it's useful for my channel, and I've been going desktop less, meaning I sold my desktop. I don't have a desktop anymore. About 2 months ago. These I'm building and I get rid of them, and I don't have a desktop anymore. I use a laptop. That's it. I hook it up to my screen. I use it when I need to use it like that, and then I pack it up and take it with me. And that video is perfect because I've had now a couple months really just using that experience to learn from. Yeah, join the Discord, man. it is what it is. Like, you don't have to or anything, but we also, the Discord is not my Discord. It's not, has nothing to do with my channel, just so you know. It's a deals Discord where we get Canadian deals, American deals. You have to be friendly. There's absolutely no tolerance for assholes at all. And no politics, nothing like that. People are welcome from any country. Come hang out. We don't shit on each other. We do post deals, but we're not the type who will buy 500 of them. It's not a type of site where you're going to go and get, oh, I'm buying 400 units because I'm going to scalp them. It's not like that. This is for people who need the deals, right? Need the deals and want to talk about stuff too. There's also a lot of chat, tech chat, anything, man. Just come hang out. But you have to be down for coolness. Okay, so that's good. I think the RAM's there. That CPU, we'll put it in. This thing's pretty. This is a pretty easy case to build, and I should speed up a bit here. Warning: this team's bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend you use a stream. What? No. Let me know if the bitrate gets low, like I get choppy. I'll see what YouTube is pestering me about. This is like a learning stream. I need to figure out how to do this so that I can hopefully do a 4K stream for my laptops. I'm not going to do it for all the laptops, but I think there are some laptops that people are really interested in on the channel, like the viewers are really interested in, that I think are good to cover live. Because it sometimes takes me a little while to get a review out, because I usually test stuff for at least a week. And it's nice to get that first look. You guys can hang out. We can just become friends, and then you guys can get initial impressions. And it's fine. Normally I do record my initial impressions as part of my videos in the beginning, and then I go back and do like the curated stuff, like the benchmarks, but after using it for like a week. But it's important for me to also capture those first impressions, and I can do them on a stream. You can go back and watch. But anyway, so the moral of that long ass story is that I want to get higher resolution. My last ones were like 720p. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, you can. We're like 720p because I was doing it off my phone. That looked like crap. So I really would like to be able to use, oh, that's a really big, that's the wrong screw. I really would like to be able to use OBS and get at least 1080p we're doing it now, if not, if hopefully 4K, because you guys have to be able to see the details. I'm using my DJI Osmo, which you can see, or you can't, but it's off camera. It does 4K easily, so it is getting chunky, eh? Yeah, and it says the best part is my router is like behind me, and I have gigabit Ethernet, so it's not my internet. I think it's just YouTube. It says it's good now, so now it's back to warning again. Warning. Yeah, whatever. Could just be. It's probably a peak time for YouTube. I'm not like a mega streamer, and from what I understand, they give more resources to like big streamers. I'm a YouTube video kind of guy, not a streamer, so they probably don't allocate a lot of bandwidth to me, if I understand how it works, which makes sense. I mean, it's a business, right? If I was like a game streamer who brought in, hundreds of watchers, I'm sure they would be like, yeah, let's get this guy 4K straight to it. This is a very easy case to build in. This is like shockingly easy. I've been doing some really pain in the ass builds recently. That Sama case was good, but my parts were a pain in the ass. And the one that I did before that, which I did a stream for, was a Fractal Pop Air, it's a really good case. I really like the Fractal Pop Air. It's the kind of case that I like. It's not that aesthetic, but it's very functional. However, it's a little bit harder to build in because it's restrictive. And like AIOs don't quite fit. It's a pretty small case, all things considered. It would be like building in a Fractal Meshify C or something like that. Yeah, Ziv, right? Yeah, Ziv. It's really, and because it has this extra like angle, it's really nice to just get in here. So NZXT are making really nice cases. They're expensive, but I don't know. Like there's always that dilemma of like, which parts of the computer do you save money on? Because I mean, you can build a like balls to the wall computer, and it's super nice. You can get expensive real fast. Do you build like a sleeper in terms of like just a case that works, like a Fractal Pop Air, gets the job done, put all your money into parts, and your computer doesn't look anything special, but it tears? Or do you put a little bit more money into your aesthetics and maybe compromise a little bit here and there? Or do you join the Tech Deals Discord and you help us and we help you find deals on cases and parts that are cheap so that you don't have to compromise anywhere. That's the real goals. Still quite happy with my Razer O11D. I thought that was Lian Li. O11D. That's O1 or something. Yeah, I don't actually know what that case is you're talking about. I'm going to have to look it up. I'll review the stream after. Yeah, there's like some ventilation on the back. Can you see that? You can't. It looks really cool on the top. This thing's gonna have crazy good airflow, despite being a lot of glass. Yeah. I'm surprised I'm able to build this while talking. I guess I've done so many builds in the past short period of time that my brain is in build mode. Other than when I couldn't figure out the cooler on the bracket didn't exist. You saw me go quiet there for a minute. Yeah, so these I'm primarily going, it comes with a little, ARGB, sorry, not ARGB, fan power hub, which I'm going to put underneath. This motherboard has lots of ARGB headers. I might actually buy an ARGB hub like this. I bought one from Memory Express for like 15 bucks for the other computer, the one that's over there. I might buy another one and tuck it under there just so I can get the wires out, have all the wires go behind and hook up there. I don't have to have a bunch of headers. For this video though, we'll use this for the fans, but I also have more fans coming. Remember, I need to buy the 2 for the bottom. So once the stream's over, I'll have to go buy fans basically. So there's no point in getting too hardcore with wires, getting them looking all pretty, because I'm gonna have to mess it up immediately afterwards, which is dumb. There it is what it is. So just get this sitting here for now so they don't fall. Yeah, it's Lian Li, but my version has more RGB. Oh, interesting. Oh, so I wasn't totally wrong, but I was totally wrong. I actually don't know the case. I know roughly what you're talking about then, because I know the case, like the non-Razer version. So I could put this down below, but I think I'm going to go like that. And reach under. That's the way, rather than top. Yeah, that's way too tight. So we're going to go like that. Thermalrite just, my arm is in the way, I'm very sorry. Thermalrite just makes really easy to assemble cooling solutions, and they perform well. At least in my testing. I've actually been using Thermalrite, like, I guess exclusively, various Thermalrites for the past 2, maybe 3 years, 4 years. And I like all of them, to be honest. You can pretty much just pick your budget, pick air, pick liquid, decide what you want. And Thermalrite makes the best paste. So they include TF7 in their coolers. TF7 is their second best like consumer paste. I actually use TF8 normally, primarily on laptops where we went here. TF8 is slightly more expensive, and do I have any? Yes, I do. TF8. TF8 is like gold. This stuff is fantastic. Very good on low mounting pressure stuff like laptops if you don't have access to PTM 7950. So I use that, but the TF8, I think for like a desktop, it's not going to make any difference. It's very good thermal paste. It's thick. You see I had to spread it on. It's very thick to get on. It doesn't dry out, has good conductivity, lasts for a long time. Okay. Good, good. Good. I need to go back. How do we get out of this thing and see? It keeps giving us warnings. I'm sorry, I don't know why it keeps being like, why it's pissed off about the streaming, but I don't really understand why. Okay, so that's good, 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 good. That's we'll do the fans in a moment. Those fans must come at the bottom. GPU will be the very last thing that we do. Let's get some storage in, I guess. It's probably the next thing before the GPU and the fans. Let's put a fan in while we're here. So that goes that way. I'll probably make this one go up. And you'll notice that I bought the same fans as the case has. So that's Thermalrite, if you can see that, the case, and I got Thermalrite fans. Because I am an aesthetic seeking dude. If I'm going to build a case that someone's going to buy off me, it better be a nice looking case, right? Because it's all about the aesthetics. It's all about the aesthetics and the RGB and how many FPS you can get in Warzone. Nothing else matters. 4K gaming? Get out of here. We don't do that around here. 1080p gaming at 9,000 FPS, this is the way. So many frames that your eyes can't even see them anyways. Aesthetics plus good value. Yeah, you're right. Like the thing is, if I'm selling something, I need to make sure that it's going to work because it's kind of my reputation on the line, right? So there's certain things that I just want, that I'm comfortable with buying because I'm like, it'll probably work. So why did you buy it? So I had some parts left. I had like, so like the RAM and stuff was for a different, I was going to do that small form factor stuff, and I picked up a lot of stuff. And I was like, I don't need some of this extra stuff like storage and stuff like that. So then I was like, maybe what I'll do is I'll get like a GPU for cheap. As you know, I was trying to sell that other GPU, that other system. So I picked up a couple extra parts like RAM and that. And I could just return them, but I was like, screw it. I found the motherboard refurb for really cheap, and I found that GPU, wherever it is, like open box. And I was like, at that point, I'm literally only spending $120 for the case, Canadian, and $80 for the cooler or whatever it was, I don't remember. And I already had the RAM because I bought it off that dude for the other thing. So yeah, I didn't really have to buy that much. And then I can get rid of them rather than trying to sell things one by one. Because I had a couple projects that I was like, I don't really care about this anymore. So this way I can just get rid of the whole thing in one go, hopefully. And I think a lot of people, like, they want to buy pre-made PCs because they don't know how, which is fine, which is fair. But then people scalp, like, I wouldn't say scalp them, but people charge a lot for pre-made PCs. Like, you go on Marketplace, people buy parts at relatively okay prices, maybe not necessarily on a good price, and then they sell the custom built for a really high price, and so people just can't buy them. They can't afford them. So I'll just sell this literally for what I paid, and I get to do a stream with you guys, and it's fun. What GPU is going in? So I found at Memory Express. Where's the actual GPU? I have the box. Gigabyte AMD 7800 XT. This is, other than the 7900 GRE, which is now king. This is the best value GPU right now. The best being the 7900 GRE. However, if you can get these for like 500 Canadian dollars, like I did, which is under 400 American, it just makes sense. The GRE would have been what I would have bought, but I didn't want to buy stuff at retail MSRP because, like I said, I want to sell this cheap. So, to somebody, this is so heavy. It's not that it's heavy; it's very rubberized on the bottom. Holy smokes. Okay, so what else goes in this computer? I have a hard drive here. Where did that go? Man, there's so much mess here now because I have so many reviews on the run. One go. RAM goes there. So I bought these hard drives. That's another thing. I had these hard drives that I bought for those small form factors because I'm going to upgrade them. But I changed my mind. I'm just going to go with SSDs. So then I had these, and I'm like, I'm not going to return them. It smells weird. It smells like women's perfume, like strong, very strongly of women's perfume. Ayo, for the tech bro chat, yeah. Tech guy bro. I should have named my channel that. Missed opportunity. Great GPU though should still sell. Yeah, AMD stuff is harder to sell. It's just the way that it is. People think that NVIDIA is better objectively. They don't understand the nuance of why it may or may not be better. So they just buy what they know. So it'll be harder to sell, but it'll be a good CPU. It'll be a good system. Very good system. The CPU is probably overkill. 7900X3D. But that's fine. It's cool. Yeah, that'll go in there after. But it'll be a very capable machine, to be honest, for like 4K light, like 4K 60, 4K 70 gaming, or 1440p, like super high frame rate gaming, or 1080p bazillion frames. So the GPU will be overkill for 1080p, to be honest. Where did those little fuse go? Yeah. Any upcoming... Happy weekend, y'all. Yes, also happy weekend to you. Any upcoming APU... Why is that covered? There we go. Yeah, man. You know how many laptops I have in my house right now? I think I have 15 laptops. I have 4 with dedicated graphics. 5 with dedicated graphics, and I have 8 or 9 with APUs, Intel and AMD. So I have a lot coming. Like, to the point I need to get these computers, these desktops, the F out of here. That's why I'm doing this like now, because they'll just sit here while I'm doing laptops, because I have so many laptop reviews coming. And I'm like, I just got to get these things out. Does this have screws? Or does it? Oh, it's that style. Yeah, okay. I just need to get them out so that I can get to the laptops, because that's my primary thing on my channel is laptops, right? So I have so many coming, like reviews. I also have a lot of comparisons. People have been asking me to do comparisons of different types of laptops and stuff. I have that 14-inch showdown, all the different 14-inch OLED gaming laptops. So I need to get this desktop stuff out of here so I can get back to my bread and butter. I think they'll do another Z13 APU only. Do they have that? Yeah, Z13. Yeah, they will. I got the Gen 2. Wait, you're talking about ThinkPad Z13? Or are you talking about the Asus Z13? Asus, the tablet, or the ThinkPad? Because those are very different laptops. The Z13, the Flow. Oh, Z13. I actually didn't know they made one with no graphics. I didn't know that. I know in the US you can get the X13 without dedicated graphics, which is a really nice laptop. I really like the X13. I've had all of them. Yeah, I've owned every single one of them, every single year of them, and I really like them. And they're actually really nice laptops, but they're very expensive and hard to find. And they never go on sale. Like, I'm talking years later, they don't go on sale. The Z13 is like unobtainium in Canada. Yeah, you're thinking of this X13. Z13 is Intel. The X13 is the Flow X13, which this year 7940 HS. Yeah, it has. They have a 4050. They have a 4060. I think they have a 4060. They might even have a 4070. I can't remember that, but they also have the iGPU one, and that laptop is a really nice laptop. It's a pretty powerful 13-inch, very premium. I really like that. It's one of my earlier videos actually, is the X13. Had a really good experience with that laptop. I really liked it. So I can put in hard drives here and SSDs. I'll put in an SSD just for learning, you guys. You just basically pop. This is a really nice case, by the way. I'm a huge fan. Slides right up to the top. Look how clean that little package is there. It's a little storage package. Given you aren't going to keep, and you're going to be easier, ever consider doing a MacBook? No, they're too expensive. MacBook stuff does very well on my channel, and Apple is lucrative, man. Like any Apple video that I do is just like, you make so much money because Apple users don't use ad block, is what it is, to be honest. Windows users and Android users not use ad block, so the ad revenue is like 1/50th. So that's why people do Apple content and they just pump it out, like just get that content out, because they make a ton of money on that. But they're very expensive to buy, so I do not blame them. They're dropping some serious coin on that Apple content. So I mean, they got to make the money back, right? Yeah, this drive caddy is sick. There's the Fractal Pop Air, which I showed in my other stream. It has two caddies like that. Each one takes a hard drive and an SSD. This one here takes one hard drive but two SSDs. But there's lots of room. Like, you could put your power supply in here, you could set the other stuff wherever. So that's in there. That's not going to be in the way. I'm not going to put an SSD in because I'm going to have the hard drive and an NVMe for whoever buys this one. I bought a 2 terabyte Team Group. I don't know where it is. God, it's going to be a nightmare. In this mountain. I actually got an open box from Amazon. And that'll be good. It's brand new. I opened it. It's open box, like new condition. So they'll get that 2 terabyte. That'll be nice. They'll have a 2 terabyte hard drive for like files, and they'll be cooking. They can add more if they want. Lenovo IdeaPad 5 Pro 16-inch is a nice light laptop. Yeah, it's right here. You guys think that I don't have all of the laptops, my friend. But if you mention a laptop, there's a high probability that Miss Terbo. There you go. That's the laptop you just mentioned. IdeaPad 5 Pro, 16-inch OLED screen, RTX 3050, 6GB refresh. Unfortunately, 16GB of RAM. However, because it has dedicated NVIDIA graphics, that takes some of the burden off of the RAM, because the iGPU is not going to steal it. So, nice laptop. The 14-inch is real nice. That's also the Xiaoxin. If you watch my Xiaoxin review, also known as the Pro 5 14-inch in Canada. But we don't have the same OLED screen in Canada and the US. So I bought one from China. I also have a Yoga 7 Pro coming, 14-inch, Yoga 7 Non-Pro, the convertible coming. I have a ThinkBook 14 upstairs. I bought another laptop that I can't remember. I have a ThinkBook 16P. I have a ThinkBook 16 Plus. Oh, I have a lot of laptops. $699. Oh, I saw that. Gamers Generation. Yeah, someone else, another homie who may not be on the chat right now, showed me that there's a $699 A tier, $650 S tier Best Buy open box, and like a $620. Honestly, man, like, yeah, 5.6. Honestly, like, buy it. I'm not even lying. He's buying my Legion, my 16-inch Legion 9, so like he doesn't need it. But he showed me that last night or the night before, and I was like, that's a freaking good price for that X13. No DGPU. Like, they're like $2,000 in Canada with a 4050. You can't get under that because you can't buy it less. If you need a 13-inch laptop, that Best Buy open, those three prices are good. I'd probably get that. I'd probably buy the A1, A class or whatever it is, A quality. We don't do that in Canada. It's just they don't have the ranking system. But I would buy it if you need a 13-inch laptop. That price is crazy. So this is the power supply. This is MSI Meg 850L. I had the 1000L and I ran it with a 4090 and was it a 13900 for a while, and then a 7950 X3D. Anyways, it's a great power supply. This is an 850 with ATX. It's more than enough for this system, to be honest. I may end up switching these systems around. I may actually put the 7800 XT with the 5800 X3D. So last gen AM4 with the AMD GPU, and then I'll put the 4070 Ti in this system. Why am I rambling about that? Because this power supply has ATX 12 volt and the 4070 can use that. It just depends on the buyers. I think that the Spider-Man 4070 might be better in this system from like a selling standpoint, and the 5800 X3D will be probably, well, be more than fine with a 5800 X3D, but we'll just see what people want, really. I just go with what people want. I'll put it in there and I'll see if people want it. If they want it, they want it. They buy it. If I didn't, oh, you have an X16. Oh, X16 is amazing too. It doesn't have as good battery life because it's Intel, but the X16, I did a review. Actually, I think I was the first one to do the X16 for last year. I bought it like the moment it dropped and put out a review of it. It's a really nice laptop. Not in Canada, we can't get the 4060. That's the only downside. You can only buy the 4050. But it has a mini, that's not the right screw. It has a mini LED screen. It has, at least the model that I reviewed, it has good cooling, very good cooling for a 16-inch laptop with Intel. Very good cooling. Dual NVMe, dual SODIMM. It's a nice laptop. Yeah. Man, I have a lot of Asus stuff. The thing that's what bothers me about all this Asus bullshit. And I've experienced their warranty issues. So I'm not just only quoting Gamers Nexus, although I do trust them anyways. Asus makes great stuff, but then they're just like an asshole of a company. Like, just don't be an asshole. Don't be a dick. That's my motto in life. If anyone actually knows me in real life, my actual motto in life is don't be a dick. That's it. Like, you can sometimes be in a bad mood and things happen, but just don't be an ass. Asus is like, at all times, they're like going for asshole of the year. And they make great stuff. Like the X13, amazing laptop. X16, amazing laptop. The ROG, this is a really tight fit here. The ROG Ally was, other than the stupid ass power SD card issue, like they make good motherboards, they make really good GPUs. Asus laptops are nice, most of them. I mean, they're overpriced. Asus laptops are generally overpriced, in Canada at least. Very overpriced in Canada. But I mean, it's like, just don't be an ass. Just treat your customers well. The new G14, yeah, I have the G14 right here. Remember when I said anytime you mention a laptop, I'll have it? What am I, not a laptop reviewer? Come on. Who do you think I am? That's a G14 right there, 2024. I just finished my review of my retrospective of the 2022 and the 2023. I've already done dedicated reviews, but I bought them recently, did a retrospective before I bought this because I wanted to have them very fresh in my brain. I'll publish those videos too, but I wanted to have the 2024 model like front and center in my brain when I did that review, because I knew that I did a video before when they launched it, just ripping into Asus for their pricing being insane in Canada. The G14 is crazy. G16 is kind of overpriced, but the G14 is like actually overpriced. And so I went pretty hard on them. And then I was like, you know what? I have to actually buy it rather than just talking smack. Giroud. Zuf Zulander. Giving Jared run for his man. No, Jared is the GOAT, man. Jared and I sometimes communicate on like Legion Discords and that. Jared is a good guy, man. He knows his shit. So Jared is a totally different channel than me, right? Jared is a comparative laptop reviewer. So he does dedicated laptop reviews for the laptop. And he focuses on a lot on performance. How does it perform? He gets really into the data, and he also compares them and gives you guys in a flow chart, here, or bar chart, here are the different performing profiles. And then then he can go back next year and that kind of stuff. I have all this data, but I don't do that, right? I focus on each laptop. I talk about the user level review. How is it to have this laptop? And then I give my anecdotal as like I be as objective as I can with the objective stuff, but I also give my anecdotal of like, I've used all these laptops. Here's how they differ, right? How does the G14 2023 compare to the 2024 compare to 2023, 2022, as someone who used them for this many months? Just a different focus, right? There was no point in me trying to compete with Jared. Like, he has a huge channel. I mean, and he's very good at what he does. So, and he seems like a real chill dude. So, and he's also a non-bullshit kind of guy too. If a brand makes something shitty, he'll call him out. So I decided to not do that. There are some YouTubers, especially some of the huge ones, that I was like really dissatisfied with how they were doing things, and that's why I made a YouTube channel. Really, I spitefully made a YouTube channel, and Jared was not one of those people. Jared is a very good YouTuber, in my personal opinion. Oh, let's do the motherboard first. By the way, I love your videos. Thank you. Books on stereo. Do you read them in stereo audio for the ASMR crowd? Which 4090 laptop would you recommend? Do not buy an Asus or a Razer because of temperatures. Buy a Lenovo Legion. Unfortunately, they're big. You can buy a Lenovo Legion 7i Pro with a 4090 for a very good price. Like, shockingly good price. Just buy that. I have a Legion 9i over there somewhere with a mini LED screen. It's very expensive though, and someone's already bought it off of me. We're just going to finalize it up. I'm going to send it. Very nice laptop though, but it's a mini LED screen. You're paying a lot of money for like premium stuff, but just get a Legion in. Legion 5, Legion 7. Razer, yeah, they're fine, but I mean, it's so expensive, and who knows about the quality, right? Like, they also are a little bit sus. But for me, it's just you pay a lot of money for a Razer blade. Razer really feels like good value. It's not even used, and they maintain their market. I guess they maintain their market value well. Like, if you want to resell your laptop, I don't know how many PCI. These are a 3-slot, right? Then your Razer will maintain its value for resale, like a MacBook. Oh, it's only a 2-slot. Okay, which is nice. I mean, you can resell them. The nice thing about here's another thing I was going to say. Some brands like Lenovo and I think MSI, they have transferable warranties automatically. Asus does not have a transferable warranty. So if I sell someone an Asus laptop that I reviewed, they're effed. They don't get the warranty. Whereas if I buy a Lenovo laptop, I think also MSI, and I just give them the laptop, doesn't matter. The warranty goes with the owner. So as long as they're in the country, or they could send it to this country, their PCI, then it's covered. And that, for me, it takes a lot of stress off of me, because otherwise I sell somebody something and the motherboard implodes, right? And then I feel like an asswipe. Whereas if the warranty transfers, then it's good. Transfer warranties is big. Yeah, man. That's one of the biggest reasons I do Lenovo. Plus, I can afford them. Lenovo stuff doesn't cost much money for what you get. Like, the value proposition is very high, so I can sell it and not go bankrupt. But other brands have good... Gigabyte has pretty good value proposition. MSI does too. If you like the aesthetics of their laptops, they do too. And I'm pretty sure MSI warranties transfer. I'm almost certain. Gigabyte, I'm not sure. I think they do. And that's big for me. That's one of the reasons. And of course, cost. Like, I have an HP Omen over there. It's so expensive. And I think the warranty on HP is probably pretty good. Same with Dell. But they cost a lot of freaking money. Books on stereo. I used to have Blade 15 Advanced, use it for 5 years. I had a Blade 14 2021 with a 3080, and I had a Blade 2022 with a 4060. Another video that I haven't published, which I need to. Yeah. Every time I read your name, books on stereo. I'm going to read it like that. I normally speak with a very high voice, and then every now and then, I decide to speak like a normal human being. Lower my voice to a normal level. This is how deep my voice is when I actually speak properly. It's still high, but I have a normal size, normal toned voice. But when I speak on YouTube, I raise my voice to a higher pitch. Why? I don't know. I just do. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist. I think I missed a bunch of transfer warranties. Razer laptop, transfer warranties. Transfer warranties, I'm just going to go back to that. It's a very big thing for me. Like, what if you lose your freaking receipt, right? Or what if you buy it as a gift? Or like you get stuck with this laptop. Apple doesn't do that bullshit. You buy an Apple laptop, as long as it's not stolen, you can always claim the warranty, right? Like, why am I not able to get a warranty on a product because I didn't buy it? That doesn't make any. That's just them trying to make more money, like just being assholes is what it is, and I don't approve of that. So having a transferable warranty is huge for me. It's no bueno if you can't do that, because who knows what you're going to do with the laptop? Maybe it doesn't suit you. You use it for 3 months, and you know, maybe you bought like a warranty even from a company, like you got the Best Buy warranty or something, and whatever that is, a year or something, and then you're past that now, right? And then you're like, all right, well, you know, and you go to buy more warranty from Asus, right? Because I think you can do that. And they're like, oh, you didn't buy this laptop. You can't buy more warranty. You're like, well, thanks, bud. I don't approve of that. It's not cool. It's important for engagement. People feel like, oh, my voice? Yes, because I teach university, or taught university, I think that's where I picked it up. You can just, like, you start to learn what people engage with, I guess, as you said. And, like, you can see it on their faces. And I think that's stuck there. I think that was part of it. You know, I just started, what is that stuck on? I just realized that people engage when you have more up and down tones. That being said, there are people who have very monotone voices, and it's very soothing. Like, I don't know if that's called ASMR. I don't really know what ASMR actually is. I'm not susceptible to it, but I do have people who I watch who have very kind of, not monotone, but chill. Yeah, maybe monotone. Maybe that's the right term. And their voices are just calming, and you watch them do stuff, and they're relaxing. There's a streamer that I watch, and he does old DOS game reviews, D Forte. He's very good at what he does. Very chill. And he has like his voice is not all over the map, and so when you watch his streams, you just feel like vibing out. He doesn't like, especially if you're just like watching it in the background, you're not like jolted out of your chair because he screams in your face or something. Clarity. My issue with clarity, I speak very clear because I'm a well-spoken gentleman, but I talk fast, which can be good for YouTube because I have a very limited amount of time to get content in. And it's good for teaching because I have a certain amount of time for teaching. But long form stuff, streaming, it can be a problem. Like streaming here, because I'm talking like I would talk in a YouTube video. To kind of, I'm like, I got to get these points in here. I don't need the 12 volt high power yet because I'm not sure if I'm going to put the 4070 in here. I think I'm going to leave this AMD because I just love me an AMD system. That's there. The GPU goes last. I do need I need one SATA. Please tell me there's a white SATA cable. I'm gonna have to buy a white SATA cable because it's not gonna look good otherwise. For now, we'll use black SATA cable. But I'm gonna go for a very streamed looked. It's probably the one in that case. You can get these nice kind of braided SATA cables. Like they look like that. They look like this. The 12 volt high power. Pretty easily. They're not expensive. So I'm going to put a white one in eventually. But for now, I'll just do a black one just for testing. Yeah, man, streaming is like, I'm used to teaching, so I actually don't find streaming hard, but I'm very prone to getting distracted while streaming and just talking because I'm a chatterbox. And then on YouTube, it's the same. I find myself talking too much when I'm doing a YouTube video. Let's do, that's up there. And so I have to actually like shut up sometimes. I'm like, Bo, you're talking when you should be reviewing. Like, people don't care about your anecdotal story. They want to know about the damn laptop. Like, back in my day, I found out that the G14 2022 used to have thermal pads. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, thanks, man, for tire fire. Not a native English speaker. Well, when I'm teaching university, I mean, obviously there's international students. There's like immigrants and people who may not be native English speakers, but usually they picked it up. But there's also international students who come from whatever country and they know English, but they don't understand random dude talking very fast while teaching, right? They speak English, but just not all the nuances of it. So you really do have to monitor how you're speaking when you're teaching. Okay, so that's that there. GPU's there. NVMe, where is that? 2 terabyte. You know what? Should I be kind and give this person a Samsung 980 Pro? It can't be hooked up to a network. Works great. So I think I missed so many. Oh, I missed before. It's disgusting how bad the local Facebook market is here. Basically. Yeah, so I lived in the same city as Isla there for a little while. I don't want to out who you are or where you are, but I lived in the same city, and yeah, Facebook Marketplace was brutal there. I didn't even try. In Calgary, it's quite good here. I think people know me too. The guy who bought the tablet off me today was like, "Hey man, I just watched your review." I guess that gives them some reassurance. But in some cities, it's just like everyone's just trying to scam. Where the hell did that 980 Pro go? I had a 1 terabyte 980 Pro. Can you see you can't see my messy disk. I just have like storage on storage. I'm trying to get rid of all this freaking storage. Did I put it into enclosure or something? That's got a 4 terabyte Subrent in it. That's for me. That'll never go. Well, I was gonna give him a 1 terabyte 980 Pro, but I don't know where the hell I put it. I also have a 2 terabyte Team Group. Where did that go? That's right here. I gotta get a 2 terabyte. The Team Group isn't as nice. It's still a TLC drive. It all comes down to, do you want more storage or do you want fast storage? We'll give them a 2 terabyte Team Group, MSI Spadium. It's fine. It's fine. I was gonna give them the Samsung 980 Pro, but it's smaller, so whatever. I'm sure they'll appreciate this. A gaming computer will make any difference how fast these are. Team Group is great, man. I'm like such a Team Group shill. I've never had issues with Team Group stuff. They had those MP34 NVMEs that I kept spamming my YouTube community pages with. And the Discord, we were all on them because they're really good. All of my NVMEs in my editing enclosure, this is like an Acasis USB 4, and it has a Team Group MP34 in there. My gaming drive, wherever it is in this mess, also has an MP34 in it because they're like 4 terabytes and they're cheap. Actually, my Lenovo Legion Go, which is behind me right there, also has a 4 terabyte 2280. That same drive, MP34. I modified it to put in a full-length NVMe. It's not supposed to. I have a video on that coming too, where I'm going to do. I bought a Legion Go skin, official skin, and I bought some other adapters and parts. So I'm going to be off AliExpress. So I'm going to be doing a follow-up video on like upgrading my Legion Go. Do you think that these 14-inch 4070 laptops are a good value? Yeah, man, they're good. You pay a little bit of a premium, the 14-inch tax. The Legion 14-inch doesn't come with a 40, at least in Canada, it doesn't come with a 4070. It comes with a 4060. I wouldn't push you towards a 4070 over a 4060. To be honest, I would buy the 4060, unless the price is almost the same. If the price is like $100 US, 150 Canadian, something like that, I'm not sure what your local currency is, the jump from a 4060 to 70 is worth it, because it's like 10% faster, 15% faster. But if you're pricing on the, it's weird. If you're pricing for the 4060 versus the 4070 is more than that, like say $300, $400, don't do it. Get the 4060. The performance is almost identical. Hey, Bernsey. Bernsy's another homie. Oh, sorry. Books on Stereo. I didn't see her name before I read your comment. Does this have a pad on it, or is it just like a loose? No, it's not. Books on Stereo. Does your channel have Books on Stereo? Is that what you do? I'm a big fan of audiobooks. I used to read a lot of novels. Fantasy. I read fantasy novels. I'm a nerd. Because I do like so much academic reading for my master's, my undergrad, blah, 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 that I just can't read like nonfiction. I just cannot be bothered to read nonfiction. I read it online and I watch educational stuff, but I just can't. So I read a lot of fantasy novels. I used to read a lot of fantasy novels, but now I have no time, so I do dabble in audiobooks, but I need to do more audiobooks because they're very enjoyable. How's the live stream going? Did I pick up Ghost of Tsushima? Yes, I did, my friend. Someone didn't watch my short or my recent video where I showed it off, which dropped today, so you probably didn't have time. Yeah, I bought it last night. I'm going to start putting Ghost of Tsushima in all of my benchmarks. I think it's a great benchmarking. Sony titles are really nice to benchmark because they're very well optimized, but they're also visually appealing. I also bought Horizon Forbidden West and some other ones. So I'm going to be doing some more very graphically intensive games, moving away from some, and I'm not doing The Witcher anymore. Witcher is like, man, a potato can run Witcher. And I'm going to start introducing some more graphical games. And of course, there's the CPU games like Baldur's Gate, very CPU intensive. Cyberpunk's still CPU intensive. Oh yeah, man, I've been putting out a video a day. I have 35 or 40 videos recorded that are not published. So I have at least one per day for a month and a half. I have 15 laptops in my house, each with a dedicated video, if not more, depending on if I'm doing comparisons. And I have tons of other stuff. So I have enough videos just right now to put out one a day for at least 2 months. And I've been these aren't like rushed videos. Some of these I've recorded. They're a standard laptop review. Like I did a retrospective of the G14s, the Razer Blades, full normal videos. And something happened and I was like, I don't have time to do this. And it got pushed to the back. So if a company sends me a review unit, like this, like for example, these guys sent me this to review. I actually told them to send me this. I contacted them. I was like, send me this and I'll review it. Then I always prioritize that. So if there's certain periods of time where companies want to have me review stuff, and I always give them the benefit of the doubt. And I curate a lot of my reviews, just so you know. I get a lot of requests for reviews. I'm talking 10 a day, 15 a day, maybe not 15, probably 5 to 10 requests a day. And out of 10, I turn down 9.5 of them, because if the product is not good, doesn't look good, I don't want to review it. It can be okay, and I can point out the negatives, but if it's just some random garbage, why? I don't have time for that. So I always give something that's interesting, or something like a brand that may be okay, or if there's an up and coming brand that it looks like they're making good stuff, but they're nobody knows them, then of course I'll review their stuff. But I get a lot of stuff, offers for coffee makers and couches, weird e-scooters and stuff. I'm like, man, what? I don't know how to review that. Baldur's Gate and Hogwarts Legacy, unfortunately, I don't play on PC. I have it. I use it in my benchmarks. But I actually play Hogwarts Legacy. I play Hogwarts Legacy. I did it on PS5 for a while, but I've decided to put my PS5 back in the closet because I want to be able to mod it. Because for me, FPS patches are big. I want to be able to play Red Dead Redemption on my freaking PS5 at 60 FPS. Is that so much to ask? Yes, apparently. So I put it away. So I bought Hogwarts Legacy on the Xbox, and I'm going to be playing it on the Xbox, so I can't really... I guess I could stream an Xbox, sure. Baldur's Gate is my go-to, though. I've been a Baldur's Gate fan since most of you were not even born, because I'm old. I've been playing Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 for, I don't know, how old am I? 30, no, not 30 years. 25 years? Let's put the GPU in, even though it's probably not time to do that. Have you seen, oh man, unfortunately, so Gamers Generation asked me about VR, Hogwarts Legacy VR. I get so motion sick. I become crippled by VR. So I will never be able to play VR. Unfortunately, I am a weak, or I guess I have an overactive immune system. Old like the Crypt Keeper. Old enough to know exactly what that reference is to. Not only the show from the 80s. Yeah, it'd be from the 80s. But also the Tales from the Crypt Keeper cartoon from the 90s. Love that show. Oh man, I can't do VR at all. I get so motion sick. I can't even do an ultra wide screen when I'm gaming. I had one, I sold it. It made me sick. It's just too much. It depends how close it is, but that's why I like handhelds. I can rip them out. I can turn down settings. It depends on the game. It doesn't actually bother me if I'm in control of the character, but when the game takes over control, I get motion sick. Like Cyberpunk 2077, the very beginning, there's a chase scene if you played it. It's not a spoiler. And they take control of you, and you're in this car. Oh man, I got so freaking motion sick. And then I was fine after that because they stopped taking control of my character. Let me do it. Books on stereo. I made a terrible performing video that has a shortcut running RGL. Oh, Gamers Generation is a YouTuber, by the way. He does a lot of stuff, but primarily handheld stuff, and it's good. He has there's like a whole there's like a sub community of handheld users that I'm kind of part of. I'm not focused on that, but I do a bit, and they're all super cool people. I recommend checking out their stuff if you want to get information on like how does this game run on Steam Deck or Legion Go or LG Ally, MSI Claw, blah 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 blah. Check out their stuff; they do really good stuff. And they're not bullshitting you, making fake videos. There's a lot of fake benchmarks out there on the internet where here's a 4090 running against a 4080, and like the guy doesn't even own either of them. You can see in the VRAM, see the VRAM in the settings that like it's not even the right card. There's a lot of those fake where it's side-by-side videos. A lot of those are fake. Not all, but a lot of them are fake. The moral of the story is Gamer Generation is good at what he does. Which AMD GPU is that? It says Met Prism. It's the second best AMD GPU. Met Prism also went on the 7900 GRE hype train. I got it because it was I wouldn't even call it open box. It was a return. It was actually sealed, which is weird. But it's a 7800 XT, which I'd say is probably the second best value, like high performance GPU, mid to high performance GPU. I would still lean towards the 7900 GRE, as you know, being fantastic. There's a site that gives info about what games are actually Steam Deck compatible. Yeah, Danny Boy. Hey, man. The site is called Gamers Generation. I don't know. There is a site that talks about the compatibility. There's more comments here. Minecraft Terraria 8, which are both good games. Do you use and or recommend Yoga 9? I use the Yoga Pro 9i for not a month, 3 weeks. Very nice laptop. Did I solve the issues? The issues that I encountered are solved apparently. Minecraft. There was a battery issues with driver issues between Intel Core Ultra and the NVIDIA drivers, and apparently they're solved according to like everybody. It's just NVIDIA does not have good drivers anymore. It's 2024. They're an AI company. They don't care about drivers. Intel is trying their best with these Core Ultra Intel Arc, and I've been using Intel Arc desktop, like it's over here, for a year and a half, 2 years, or however long it's been. I can't remember. And it's just a mess. And then the laptop manufacturer is the one who's now responsible for getting the NVIDIA drivers to behave with the Intel Arc drivers. And they weren't sleeping properly, and I was getting battery drain. Ziv Zoolander, 7800 XT or GRE. I would push people towards the GRE if you can get it for both at like MSRP. Such a good GPU. 7900 XTX. Yeah, 7900 XTX is also really good. The prices are coming down. If you can get one of those for like 1,000 Canadian or 680 American, absolute steal. The 8840 HS and the 7840 HS, are they identical? They're technically the same chip, but think of the 8845 HS. AMD put out the 7845 HS, which had problems, lots of them, weird bugs and quirks. They said, this isn't ready yet. They put it back in the oven, came back the next year and pulled it out when it was ready. So all the bugs are gone. The sleep issues are gone. Crazy good battery life on the 8845 HS. So they are the same chip. They both are amazing. If I were to pick one, I would pick the new one, but the raw performance is almost identical. Which is my favorite 14-inch gaming laptop? If you were talking about dedicated GPU, probably the Legion 14-inch. The G14 is really nice, man, but it's very expensive. So I can't really say the G14 just because of the price. Same with the Razer Blade. It's just too expensive, but they are very nice laptops. The Razer and the G14 are very nice. The MSI is a better value. The Omen is too expensive. It's out. I also really like the idea of getting like a Yoga 7i Pro, right, with 8845 HS and a 3056 gigabyte or a 4050. Because they perform so well. Like the 4060 in that versus a 4050 in a thinner Yoga laptop is going to perform almost the same. So in many cases, I'm like kind of starting to push towards a productivity laptop when it's a 4060 or a 4070 or 4050 because they're so efficient. They don't get that hot and they can work in those really small chassis. If you're talking 4080, 4090, you got to get a like actual gaming laptop. I'm recording on a laptop right now. It's a ThinkPad. oh my God, P1 with an RTX 4090 in a ThinkPad. Isn't that crazy? But it only runs at 80 to 100 watts. So it runs massively slower than like a Legion or something with a 4090 in it. Still very fast. It runs faster than a 4070, slightly faster with twice the amount of VRAM. But when it comes down to it, it's not good value for gaming. It's a productivity laptop. The same with the G14. Getting a 4090 in a G14 or a G16 or a 4080 in a G16 or a G14 doesn't make sense because the watts are low. Just put your money somewhere else. Get yourself like a, I don't know, what does Asus make? ZenBook? Is that what they're called? It just makes more sense. Interesting case. It is an interesting case. Yeah, it's a NZXT. Books on stereo. I was thinking of doing a 14-inch gaming laptop for portability and using a 4090 laptop as a desktop replacement. I would go the PC route. If you're a Mac user. You can buy pre-builts, man. Get yourself a Lenovo Legion pre-built. Join our, I don't know if you're American or Canadian. If you're American or Canadian, join the community Discord. I post pre-built from time to time. You can save a lot of money. Lenovo Legion and I think the HP Omen don't use any proprietary plugs, any proprietary parts. So you can upgrade them down the road and you can get into a 4080 or 4090 for a good price. Then you don't have to worry about pre-building and you get full warranties. And if you're not comfortable, you don't have to worry about it. Laptops are great too, but if you already have a MacBook, I mean, it kind of nullifies that to some degree. I don't like the idea of using split PCI. I don't know, I'm not like a professional PC builder. The 7800 XE is not that much power. Who's in here who knows a lot about MetPrism? You know a lot about PC, about GPU power. What do you think about the 7800 XT on a split PCI versus a single? It can use a lot of watts. Like I think it can use 300 or so watts. I like my A770. Yeah, man, A770 is still great. I have it over here. I owe Intel Arc a lot because my channel was kind of not much, and then I got really pissed off at the YouTubers who were like, "Oh, Intel sucks." That's their video. And then 6 months later they tested it. I was like, or you could like actually test the product. Is this interesting? Like, do it. So I got pissed off, so I bought one. And I started making videos, and I took community requests. That's all I did. Single is safer. Oh, single. Yeah, okay. And I started taking community requests. No bias. I just tested the games on Intel Arc, and people watched. And they learned whether it was good or bad. And we watched the progression together of it getting better. So I owe a lot to Intel Arc. And Intel went from nothing, literally, in desktop to being capable. And their laptop GPUs are now also good. With an asterisk beside them. They are good. So Intel's dope. I just really hope the Battle Mage is like really good. I legitimately have high hopes for it. You never know. It's Intel. They're kind of a hot mess right now. It's a 2x8 pin, yeah. 1 to 2. It would reduce the wires. I know the 78, it's AMD. The 7800 can pull a lot of watts. We'll do 2. Yeah, my G14. Man, I was very excited for the G14, the G16. And then they dropped the prices in Canada, and I was actually so mad. And I watched a YouTube review. I'm not going to say who it was, because that's not a nice thing to do. And I got actually mad. Because I was like, they didn't even mention value once. They were just like, it's so nice. It's like a MacBook, which it is like a MacBook. But it's also 3,000 Canadian dollars to buy into the lowest model with 16 gigabytes, with 32 gigabytes of RAM. Which is also, they didn't even talk about the RAM. Soldered RAM. So I was just like, nah. Right away, I immediately put out that video so that people didn't just like panic buy the G14, the G16 before real reviews came out. And then Jared's Tech came out with a real review, and he pointed out everything that I said. And I didn't want to do the review. I'm gonna do it now, but I knew he would hold it down and be like, "There's something going on here. We need to talk about it." And he talked about value. He talked about soldered RAM. He talked about temperatures, power, and he cut through that like hype of like panic buying this new item, which is, you shouldn't buy anything until there's reviews out, including games. A770 is very weird. Gamers Generation. Oh, it's MetPrism. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. I think I missed some. My worry for Intel Arc Battle Mage is that it's going to be too late. I think it's going to be fantastic. It's going to come out probably at like a 4070 Ti or 4070 Ti Super. It has more VRAM. But then AMD's going to have their new stuff maybe. And more importantly, NVIDIA's. But I think NVIDIA is straight up abandoning the low end. Like, I think they said that. They're like, Jensen's like, you peasants don't deserve our GPUs. We do AI now and or $7,000 80 and 90 tiers. So I think Intel is like going to be able to just walk. If AMD doesn't actually put out GPUs, Intel legitimately is just going to walk in. And as long as their GPUs don't suck, they're going to walk into the low end and be like cooking. Because the drivers work now. Which I guess is the one good thing of AMD becoming like kind of elitist with like, NVIDIA becoming elitist with like putting all their money into AI, because it makes money, it makes sense. I'm not blaming them. And then primarily focusing on the high-end GPUs. So, I mean, NVIDIA laptops are fantastic. I mean, NVIDIA GPUs are fantastic too. They are good, but they also are often very overpriced. And they make dumbass decisions like putting 12 gigabytes of VRAM on a 3070 Ti, which is stupid. So, and then they just like use like community think to confuse people about like the fact that they should have put more VRAM. Probably find mid. Yeah, I'm thinking that Battle Mage drops in late fall, same as the other Arc stuff. It starts to hit the market this year, but like late. If you look at the recommended GPUs for Hellblade, 2 for 1440 high recommended GPUs are 3080, 10 gigabytes, 6800 XT and A770. Holy shit, they put an A770 on par with a 6800 XT. That's a ballsy move. A770 performance, just so you guys don't know, it's like everywhere. So in some games it's like a 30, let's say the drivers work. In some games the A770 is like a 3060, juiced up 3060 with lots of VRAM. I found them very similar at times, depending on the game. And in some games, like it just freaking smokes a 3060. Like Hogwarts Legacy, they're not even in the same realm of existence. And in those type situations, the A770 is performing more like a 6800 from AMD, or I wouldn't say like a 3080, maybe like a 3070 with like lots of VRAM. So the spread is massive. Like watch Gamers Nexus video, they show it like just absolutely obliterating a 4060 like all the time. And then sometimes it's way up the chart with like 3070s and stuff. And you're like, holy crap. And then sometimes it's way down. So you do have to realize that you're buying into a GPU that is very capable and sometimes performs more like a 3060, which is fine, I guess. Still fine. But 3060 can be had for cheaper is what I'm getting at here. But sometimes you buy it. Sometimes you jump into a game and you're like, man, this thing performs well. And I think we're past the point now where like the drivers are just, well, if you bought it early, there was like, we would have games that didn't work at all, period. And then like the next day it would be up like percentage increase, like 5,000% increase, but it went from like 3 FPS up to 40 or whatever. Met President, Danny Boy says, better than a desktop 3070 Ti. Wait, what? Oh, the 7800 XT. Oh, 7800 XT is more powerful than a 3070. Easily. And a 3070 Ti, yeah. It would be equivalent to like a 4070 with more VRAM, somewhere around there. It's always hard to compare stuff because it all depends on the game. Like I did a video recently, which I also need to publish because I'm lazy, comparing a 4080, think of that, 4080 to a 7900 XT, not an XTX, 7900 XT. And there are several games where the 7900 XT beat the 4080 easily. And there's a couple games where they beat it easily and several games where they matched. On average though, no, not even close. The 4080 is more powerful. It just has more powerful GPU. But like Hogwarts Legacy, the 7900 XT came out swinging, did very well. Some other games as well. And then there's some games that just got like dunked on. Avatar was one of the really bad ones. It did really bad in Avatar. Wait, that's CPU fan. That's pump, yeah. CPU fan. I don't think this thing says like pump fan. Some of them do. I don't think this motherboard says pump fan, pump fake. So anyways, the moral of the story was it's hard to compare GPUs because like on paper a 3080 is just always better than a 7900 XT. And it is in real world, but then sometimes it's not. 7900 GRE is like obnoxiously good for what you pay. Not every game. Some games it's not as good, but... And DLSS, yeah, and people are like DLSS 3. FSR 3 is now very good. It's not in everything, but FSR 3 has come a long way from... If you were an early adopter of FSR, you know that FSR 1 was like... Well, it was horrible. It was actually horrible. It was like unusable. FSR 2.2 is good. FSR 3 is very good. XeSS I actually find looks the best of all of them. It's not in a lot of games though, but it has a lot of the visual benefits of DLSS. But I don't know. I just find that it's like sometimes you can get like weird sparkles and things, or like a muddy texture with DLSS. It just depends on the game and the implementation. FSR is like usually visually worse, pretty much always. But with DLSS, with FSR 3, it looks a lot better than it used to. Right, I'm just going to do this like ugly to start, because I don't know where all the pin headers are, and I'm going to buy a pin header thing like I have this thing. And I'm going to have to wire it up. But as I mentioned in the beginning of this stream, people are probably new, the bottom of this case only takes 140 millimeter fans, and I bought 120 millimeter. I've never seen that before. There's no ability to put in 120 millimeter fans in here. So I have to go to Memory Express or something tomorrow and pick up some 140 millimeter fans. So the wire is going to get all screwed up. I've never seen that before, where like you cannot put in 120 millimeter fans. So we're gonna leave it ugly for now. And by ugly I mean I'm just gonna have the wires out. RGB. Dang, Lenovo doesn't have any good 4090 premium. Only 4080 Super. Yeah, they had a 4090, but they were sold out. They went like they had a really good sale in the late fall on 4090 desktops, and they absolutely freaking flew off the shelves. They've been sold out ever since. And the 4080 Super, what the hell is this thing? Why is that cap not coming up? And the 4080 Super is basically in the same situation where it went on a really good sale. What is this thing? Oh, God. So the 4080s are now available. 4080 Supers are available, but they also had a 4070 Ti pre-built for a really outstanding price. But it's sold like crazy. Now it ships in like, I think it says it ships in 2 months or something, unfortunately. But the 4080 I think still ships quickly. A 4080 is a good system, man. Don't underestimate what you can do with that. I'd probably push people towards a 4080 right now because the 4090 is too expensive. It hasn't come down in price. There's nothing harder than hooking up RGB fans, especially in a bent pin one. There we go. But anyways, yeah, I'd push you towards a 4080 right now because the new NVIDIA stuff's going to drop. The 4080 Super is a really good price for what it is. Bo, did you end up with one or two? I have two power cables, 1 and 2, separate for now, to the 7800 XT. It's probably fine with a bifurcation, but I don't know. AMD is capable of pulling a lot of watts, so I probably won't. Problem is some of the 4000 series cards like the 4080 NVIDIA doesn't even optimize the drivers. Yeah, so that's exactly what it is, MetPrism. I think it's a driver thing. NVIDIA's it's funny because back in the day AMD had bad drivers, way back, and then 2 years ago Intel had bad drivers, and I wouldn't say they have bad drivers anymore, but they still have some quirks, is what I'll say. But now it's NVIDIA has garbage drivers. Every time I do a laptop review, I spend 2 hours trying to troubleshoot NVIDIA drivers. This morning, I was trying to get the NVIDIA drivers working on that other desktop. It would not. I couldn't get the games to launch. I had to roll back my drivers. And it's because they put most of their money into AI now, right? And productivity. Like, they're a business. I'm not blaming them, right? If they make 100 to 1,000 times the amount of money doing something that requires one task, or they can then split their effort to this other thing that makes 1,000 times less money, what are they going to do? They're a business. They have to appease the shareholders. So they're going to do what makes them money, which is AI. Okay, hold on. So let's make sure we got the pump hooked up here. We got the RAM in here. We have the fans hooked up. We have the pump fan hooked up. Yes. We have the GPU hooked up. I have an NVMe inside. I have a hard drive in the back, which doesn't really need to be hooked up right now. We'll worry about that later. Oh, this. I knew there was something. The actual power. I just was sitting here. I was like, something's missing here. They are charities, yeah. They're making money, right? It is what it is. There's things that I don't like about NVIDIA, their culture, and I don't like, it's not even them. I don't like toxic fanboyism is what I don't like, right? Like, you can like what you can like. I don't care. But you can't try to convince other people that something is better without data, is what I don't like. Beyond that, I mean, companies trying to make money, they're trying to make money, right? If they're in a huge growth phase, which they are, trying to secure businesses, long-term government contracts, like what, are they insane? They're going to be like, no, let's just make like gamer stuff. So, and AMD is making money. They're not losing money. AMD has like server CPUs like on block. They are killing it with consoles. They have every console except the Switch is AMD. Handhelds are all AMD now. AMD laptops are taking off. They weren't doing well in the past, and they're just absolutely exploding now. Intel's kind of stagnating, which is unfortunate, but they need it. Intel's not the type of company to be in the lead without competition. They become lazy and they start to suck. So I can't see what I'm doing here. So Intel really needs to get their asses beat up for a while, and then what happens is they start to get better again. It happens all the time. So their CPUs are going to suck right now. Intel kind of sucks. And then their laptops were getting shit, to be honest. Now they have the Core Ultra, which is good again. The 14th gen and 13th gen is fine, but it's good in gaming laptops. It was never good in thin boy laptops. So, you know, they need to get beat up for a bit, and then they kind of wake up. That's Intel's way. I don't know about what they're going to do with desktop GPUs, though. But they'll never abandon laptop, I don't think. They just have the mind. This is the horrible way to feed this wire. Let's not do that. That one's going to stay. So. All right, I missed so many questions. Intel is great. They're a weird company. Like I said, they're the type of company that needs to do poorly from time to time, and then they start to innovate. If they don't have competition where they get beat up, they stop innovating. They get lazy, like they dominated laptop CPUs for, I don't know, ever, until AMD came out with 3000 series. And so AMD was just getting obliterated. And then AMD was like, all right, we're going to just get Vega graphics, which are like 1,000 times better than what Intel has. You can actually game on these like ThinkPads now. And they're super efficient. And then Intel woke up and they made the 8000 series, which was fine. Then they started to get lazy again. Now they came out with Core Ultra, which I'm a big fan of. I think Core Ultra is really good. Intel these days is trying to hedge by becoming a fab company. Yeah. And they're good at it. They fab stuff. There's a lot more Intel in the products that you own than you think of, like not just CPUs and GPUs. They're everywhere. Yeah, small form factor. Yeah, I'm kind of really looking towards the like small GPUs. I have something else that's cool I'm going to show you guys. I'm not going to put it in right now, but I never made the review. I got lazy. As per usual, this thing's really cool. It's an AGP. God, how old am I? PCI 4 times thingy. This is U-Green. I should probably publish that review. And you put an NVMe in it, like that. I'll show you the big camera. You put an NVMe in like that. And then if your board has a PCI, you can do 1 times, and you'll get like 400 megabytes a second. But in here, I get like about 3,000 megabytes a second or so. So if you don't have this has 3 NVMe's, it's fine. But if you have a board that doesn't have a lot of storage, but you do have a PCIe 4 time slot, it's really good for that. I'm going to be using that in my small form factor. That's why I kept it. This person's going to be fine with this, but I'll put it in my small form factor case. That'll be really cool. Okay, we have 2 more wires. I don't remember. Oh, this is the USB-C. We'll do that later. It's not important right now. There is a USB-C over here on the front of the case. But we can do it right now. it's not. I'm just worried about getting my wires all messed up and then having to come back later. But this is an easy spot. I also need to get like a white SATA cable for the hard drive, the hard drive. Although it's down there, you may not be able to see it. Why are you not going in? I've never plugged in a USB-C to a motherboard before. Isn't that wild? I've only had Fractal Pop Air. Danny Board, or Gamer Generation says, you guys are chatting. So many wires. Yeah, man, this is all RGB mess. I'm gonna buy. So I have a port here, fan hub. I'm gonna get another one, a 6 one, and then I'm gonna get a 6 RGB and tuck it in the back. But I'm not doing that right now because I need to get these two 140 millimeter fans. There's no point because this is all gonna have to come right. I did that with the other one, and then I was like, I need to get a hub, and so I ended up taking them all back out. Where's this thing going? I don't see this port here. Am I just like completely not seeing it? Like the power and all that? Is it? Maybe it's under the GPU. That would be dumb. What in the world? What in the world is Carmen San Diego? Seriously? Is it under the GPU? That would be a horrible spot for it. Oh, it might be facing this way. I'm trying to hook up the like front I/O, which is now just like an integrated plug. Ares Hardware Busters is successor of sorts. I don't know who that is. Is it for you to use? This computer? No, I'm going to be selling it. I'm going... I'm sorry, your name is in kanji. Oh, you have Kaito in there. Yeah, Kaito. No, I'm building this because I had a bunch of spare parts, and I want to get rid of all my spare parts, and I also got a really good price on a couple of these parts here, so I decided I'm going to build this for a stream. I'll sell it at my cost, which is pretty good. Someone who doesn't know how to build PCs will be able to get a good priced custom PC for once. And I'm going desktop less to an extent. I'm going to be doing just primarily laptop only with docks and that kind of thing. I have a cool video with Best Buy Canada coming, which is in that vein. That's going to be a really cool one. And the other thing that I'm doing is I'm going to be going with like super small form factor. Not mini PC, like, you know, these like B-Link and that. Not mini PC. I have videos for them, but I'm going with something... It's over there, I can't really get it. Like kind of the small form factor ones. And they have like board powered GPUs, like a 75 watt 3050 or a 75 watt A2000 that doesn't even need a PCI slot. It just runs right off the board. And yeah, you're going to not get the power of something like you get out of this. But I'm primarily using that for creative tasks. I'm going to be doing mostly creative tasks on my desktop. And then my laptop, I'm probably going to just... Right now I'm using a 4090 ThinkPad, which is overkill. I'll sell that eventually. And I'm probably going to go with a 4060 laptop for now, for this generation. I have a ThinkBook 16p. I'll probably use that, I think. We'll see. Boo, what's going on with those cables? Yeah, man, the cables are bad. Yeah, so this is going to be a mess right now because I have to buy 2 more cables. Tomorrow morning I'm going to have to go buy 2 more fans from Amazon. Hopefully they return. Hopefully they arrive in time. Or I'll get them from Memory Express or whoever sells them Best Buy. And I'm going to buy a couple of hubs. This is a 3 fan. It's not going to do anything for me. So I'm going to buy a 6 fan and I'm going to buy a 6 RGB hub. Both of them. Tuck all this in the back and do it up. But let's make sure this works. We can game with an ugly wire mess, right? We're not aesthetic gamers. We're functional gamers. RTX 2000 ATA small factor. So I have an RTX 2000 non-ATA, A2000. It's not an RTX 2000, it's an A2000. I also have an RTX 4000 non-ATA, but it's actually very capable. It does take board power. It does take a PCI 1 pin, 1 8-pin. But it did way better than I thought. I was playing with it last night. It's in a ThinkVision computer, which is right there. It's like a 6 or 7 year old productivity GPU, and yeah, it did much better than I thought. Once we boot this up, because I'm gonna have to set up Windows, I'm sure you guys want to watch me test this thing. I'll show you my GPUs while we're going through that, and otherwise it's gonna be boring. So, all right, everything's plugged in. My my display port fell behind, so just 1 second. as you can hear the crunching of mess in my office. Yeah, it is back there. My office is a disaster right now because I'm trying to get all these desktops built and out so that I can focus on laptops. Sorry for showing my basically crotch at this point. Okay. Fan cable should be banned. Yeah, Unifans are sweet. I played with them at CES. Was it MSI or was it Asus? It was MSI. MSI had such a cool booth. They were also really nice. MSI, if you're watching my stream, you told me you were going to send me stuff to review, and you didn't. But you did give me a full tour. Extensive full tour, which was really nice of you. So I can't be too mad. I took so much of their time. I was in there, and they had a huge floor. But anyways, they had really cool Project Zero. If you guys know Project Zero from MSI, basically all the wires are behind. Who said that? Gamer Generation. So Project Zero from MSI, the back of the motherboard. So you have the motherboard, normally all the crap's over here. Project Zero, you actually open up the back of the case and all the stuff comes out of the back of the motherboard. So the front of the motherboard is super clean. All the wires go in the back. Super cool to me. I haven't seen one in person, but I played with it at CES and it was pretty freaking cool. See, MSI, I'm promoting your stuff. Now give me money. Right? That's how that works. But no, it's really cool. They also have those fans that they magnetize to each other, and there's no, they get the power from the one beside them, so they daisy chain automatically. Those are really cool. Okay, screen on. Yep, power on. It's not going to work. Probably need to hit the power switch. If it works on the first try, I'll be surprised. It happened last time, and the computer was totally functional. It's not going to happen this time, is it? Nope. Okay, so I missed something. All right. Although, that does say through. That's plugged in. Okay, so something's wrong. All right, so yeah, this is how it's supposed to go, where it doesn't work the first time. So the front I/O, that's plugged in. This front I/O is plugged in, right? Yes, it is. Oh, that's not plugged in properly. That's why. See? Ooh, let's take that out real quick. Last time when I did a build live stream, I pressed the button and it worked. That was surprising. That's not common. But where does this go? I can't see. There's no lighting here. I'm sorry, I'm showing the back of my head. I think it's this one. Yeah, I put it in the wrong slot. All right, my old man eyes can't get light. Yeah, that's the one. JFP1. Yep, that's the right one. I had it in the wrong slot. You'll get there one day, where low light is your bane. All right, yeah, Lian Lab design case. Project Zero, Asus BF is all they're interesting. Man, Asus has real cool stuff this year. Not Asus, MSI has really cool stuff this year. They had a really cool CES. Just everything they had was cool. They have some really nice laptops too, but they're expensive. Like the Stealth. Haha, look at that. Look at that, guys. That fan's not plugged in. I forgot that fan. Again, this has to be fixed. I'm going to leave it open for now. To be fair, your cable should be... Danny boy. I missed Danny boy's first question. Oh, yeah. I'm amazed that it worked the second time. Bring you guys back over here. So the wires are a mess. This one's not even freaking plugged in. But it works. Before I close the case and do my thing, I'm going to have to get all the fans hooked up with the thing, put the PWM 140 on the bottom. That fan's going to have to work because I'm going to have to get thing going through. But this looks pretty good. Those fans need to be plugged in. I'm going to plug in them in a second, though. I just want to make sure this actually works before I go hardcore. And then we'll plug in those 3 fans and that fan there. But I think we're cooking here. Yeah, okay, it's working. Okay, so let's plug that. Let's turn that back off. So I didn't miss anything major other than the fans. Even though I'm gonna have to unplug them tomorrow and redo all the fans, I should at least plug in these because it'll look cool. I don't think these are RGB though, so that's gonna be kind of lame. I might actually switch these out. This is an RGB fan. I have 3 more RGB fans. These I don't think are RGB. For the stream, I'm just going to get it working. But I think tomorrow I'm going to actually unplug, take out these 3 fans here, put in these RGB ones. So I'll have RGB, RGB, RGB. These 3 have RGB. That has RGB. This one will not. So I might have to buy 1 more RGB fan. And the bottom ones, if I can find 14-inch RGB fans, I will. But if not, I'll just not do that. We'll see. But I should get these fans in the front working just for the video purpose, for the stream. Well done, though. Well, almost. I almost didn't blow it. I almost didn't botch it, but I did forget the fans here. The back one I just didn't do, but I completely forgot these ones. Yeah, they're kind of real lot. It's so heavy. Where's the end? I don't want to undo this nice cableage. There it is. That's up here. I wonder how many PCs I've built in my life. Not just modern PCs. I used to build old PCs back in the day, and they were a freaking nightmare. Oh my god, you'd get everything plugged in. I'm not exaggerating here. If you're in your 30s or 40s or above, you'll know. Like you build a PC back in the day, and then even the 2000s, and you're like you hit power and it just doesn't work, and then you spend the next 5 hours trying to figure out why the thing won't turn on. That was the back in the day. Now it's like, oh, I forgot a fan. Looks good. Yeah, it does look good actually. Once it's clean and the wires are cleaned up, the back looks nice and tight. I like that. I really like this back. Once that's let's turn you guys. Here you go. The back looks real tight back here. I really like the back of this laptop, of this desktop. There's actually some space down here to put extra stuff if you want down below. Like you could just sit some stuff down there. Lots of places to hide the wires. It's looking good, honestly. Yeah, I think the only negative with this model, for me, is going to be that these 3 fans in the front aren't RGB. I actually don't dislike RGB, but I don't really like RGB, I guess. Yeah, I guess really I don't really like RGB that much. So for me, I would not care. But because this is going to be someone else's PC, I'm going to put RGB fans there. So those 3 will be RGB. I'll figure that one out after. I need to buy 1 singular 120 millimeter RGB and 2 140s. That's kind of dumb about this case. That's the dumb part. All right, where did I feed those things through? Here they are. This is all that needs to be done, the front fans. I'm also kind of confirming. I might be wrong. Maybe they are RGB and it's just the picture didn't show them. Oh, I should have went up there, whatever. Again, wire mess. Figure it out later. First you get this PC working, then you clean it up. Typically you end your stream and you come back. Okay, so now these 3 fans should work. This one, I don't even know where those wires went. Oh, here they are. All right, let's get that one working. Then we can close the case up. Yeah, that'll be a good idea. We won't get maximum performance because we don't have the fans in the bottom, but this GPU is not like it's not a spicy boy. Oh my god, what have I done to myself? What are you caught on? It's just like a blob of wires that they come to me. Why are there so many? What the heck? Whatever. I guess we can probably daisy chain one more. Or since it's a mess, let's go all the way. Oh, that's not right. Where is the female? Are you female? You're male. Whatever, the RGB is not going to be plugged in. Just another lazy thing from Tech Guy Bro. Buy Prey-themed PC is the only one. The Unicorn Rainbow Vomit does wear off quick. Yeah, it does. It's cool, but then like you realize it like starts to bother you. Like you're trying to play a game, and there's like RGB like blaring in your face. You're like, stop it. Okay, let's. Oh, I didn't turn I didn't unplug it. Fans working, so they're not RGB in the back there, unfortunately. Yeah, so I think for me, here, this thing's loose, that's why it's spinning. I think for me, I'm going to swap the Thermalright RGB fans in there, because you can see these are RGB. These are RGB fans. They're going to go here, so it's going to be RGB, RGB, RGB. These three RGB, that RGB, and we'll see about this. I'm not sure. That one doesn't have to be. I'd like it to be. And I don't know about PWM. If you guys have any recommendations, normally I just use Arctic 140mm PWM fans, but they're definitely not RGB. So it might not be a problem because they're kind of tucked down there. You don't need RGB shining up. They'll blend into the case. So I might just go with the generic PWM ones. So just say goodnight. All right, man. Have a good night. Worse than crazy RGB is motherboard lighting that you can't disable. Oh yeah, that drove me nuts. There was a motherboard recently that had that. This one I think has a switch. I don't remember which motherboard it was in it. I couldn't disable the RGB. And then like I did disable it, but there was like one piece left. I can't remember what it was. There was like something. There was like an angry light or something that was just always on. Or Noctua if you don't. Yeah, brown. Yeah, you could go like all Noctua. I think LTT did like a full Noctua video, I think. I can't remember. And they did all brown. I haven't watched LTT in a while. That'd be cool if you went all in on it. Yeah, you gotta go. Yeah, you have to go all in if you're gonna go Noctua. Get a brown case. Get like the fractal True North or whatever it is. That's like green and brown like a tree. That'd be cool. MSI 2 terabyte. Yeah, I tested that to make sure it worked. What is? Oh, it's just yeah, because I tested it to make sure it worked. And the hard drive is not plugged in yet because it doesn't need to be. I think I missed so many chats. I'm sorry. I want Asus Noctua 40E. Oh yeah, man, it's so expensive. It looks cool. I'm not a hater. Noctua stuff, it also performs cool. It's just that with the Noctua stuff, like you kind of gotta go. You kind of gotta go all in. You don't want like a chocolate brown GPU, and then like the rest of your case is, like black or white or something. Personally, I'm like just embrace it. Embrace the chocolat. Chocolat, for you Americans and others, is French for chocolate. They should integrate the fans better than usually using the same frames. Yeah, I can see that. They could do a little bit more with like design. I think they're also kind of playing off their name because they make damn good cooling solutions. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. We're possibly rescuing a puppy. Maybe. Hopefully. Where is she? Yeah. Okay, so that's booting up. While this does its thing, because this is going to be a boring minute or two, I'm going to show you guys something cool. Hang out here for a second. Alrighty, I'm coming in with, what do I want to show you guys? What do I want to show you guys? So, I have plans for world domination. And how will I dominate the world? One GPU at a time. Oh my god, I almost died. So, my goal right now, while this sets up, is to go like small form factor. So there's two levels of small form factor. OEM, small form factor. So there's the mini PCs, right? Like I have the B-Link mini PCs, Minis Forum, you may know. But for me, I'm thinking something like this. Like this is a very small form factor PC, ThinkStation. And inside you can fit actually, let's open this up. Yeah, that's the back, nothing there. On the front, you can fit a 2-slot GPU here. And because it's angled up, but it doesn't have a PCI, right? You can see there's no power. The power has to come off of the motherboard. So it's tiny, way tinier than like a small form factor GPU. Like that's a tiny little thing. But then you need to figure out, okay, what am I going to do with board power? So there's GPUs like this, the RX 6400 runs off board power, doesn't need a PCI. It's not very powerful. It's fine. RTX 3050, big jump up in performance. This is 2 slots though, so it's slightly wider. It will work in that case, but it won't work in another one that I have over there. So this may go in there, 3050. It's not going to be as powerful as even like a full 3050 because it's lower watts, but it's going to be very capable for that little thing. And lastly, I have hold on, I have a T1000 in that desktop, but that does take a PCI, so that one's not interesting. I have a T1000 as well, but that's in another PC. I'll have to deal with that after. And this is another one. If you guys ever watch, oh, there's 2 in here. Oh, that's extra parts. This is another one. This is a product. Oops, sorry, I'm hitting the mic. This is an A2000. A2000. 12 gigabyte. So these, like, they don't even have a PCI. You can see there. They only run off of what the PCI slot can supply in terms of power. There's no PCI like power. Which is cool because, I mean, you're very limited watts, but you can do a lot with these in terms of productivity. And gaming-wise, they're more capable than like an iGPU. Excuse me. Way more capable than an iGPU. So my video, I'm going to do a bunch of videos testing, well, I'm going to do a video testing all these different GPUs here, see what the differences are, you know, just basically get an idea of, like, which ones are worth your money. Probably the 3050 is going to be the best value is my guess here. The A2000 is good, but they can be very expensive. So if you can get them for cheap, sure, you can pick one up. But for me, I think like that 3050 is going to be really cool. It'll just be a cool video. Like what can you do with something like that that has no board power at all? Sorry, no PCI power, just board power. And then I'm also going to do one with single pin. So I have an AMD one that I just picked up, like an older workstation one from a few years ago. And then I have a... what's the other one that has board power? Oh, the T4000 uses 1 pin. And they're like professionals for like doing AutoCAD, graphic design work, that kind of stuff. But they you can game on them. They're just not designed for that. So it's just cool because you can have such a small limited case and do something fascinating with them. 6400 would be good for HDPC. It's a great GPU. It's just like, it's very 1080p focused. It's just not super powerful. Oh, hold on, my dog can't get up in the bed. Hold on, I'll help you. I'll help you. Let me help. Let me help. Wait. Yeah, you got trapped. I put a piece of styrofoam where he wanted to jump. Will you donate me this one? Yeah, I wish, man. I do not have such incomes. I'm not a wealthy man. Try Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, I think I'm just going to try Ghost of Tsushima. It's probably like the only thing people care about right now. All right, let's rip through this here real quick. We'll get Ghost of Tsushima installed. That I actually do need to find my external storage because I own that game and I don't feel like downloading it right now. I'll find it in a sec. I do not have internet. The frame gen should work on the A2000. Yeah, and it takes DLSS. So does the T1. T4000 takes DLSS. The A2000 will do frame generation and DLSS. I don't think it does DLSS 3 though. I think that's the limit of it. It doesn't do DLSS 3 because technically it's 1 generation old. Look at all this freaking telemetry here. Here, I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Camera. The only problem with the DJI Osmo is when you turn it, it has a gimbal. So when you turn the actual microphone, it's like it tries to go back. Yeah, I tried frame generation on the 4070 Ti today. and it worked well. It really increased the performance like a lot. I don't normally like frame generation because I find that it makes the game have like a lag or something. It makes me like feel like I'm running through mud. But on a slower game like the Ghost of Tsushima, where you're like, it's a stealth third-person game, I think it works well. But like, I don't like it for like shooting style games. I find it feels like laggy. It does increase input latency. Yeah. Without the use of AMD, Reflex, or NVIDIA. Yeah. It depends on the game if you care. If it's a 3D game, it doesn't, like a third-person game, you're not going to care. But if you have a base FPS of, yeah. Ghost of Tsushima, I think it'll be fine. I used it on the 4070 Ti, and I couldn't tell it was on. King Maniac Tech. Did you miss the whole PC build? You did, unfortunately. But you got here right when Windows started. So that's a thing. Let's plug in the Ethernet, which I think I can reach. I might have to go this way. It's becoming very, very messy in here. Where are you, Ethernet? It's like slightly out of my field of view. What? Oh, it's right there. It's so sticky on the bottom. It has huge sticky feet, and then this desk is like extremely. Okay, that looks good. Ethernet's the Tech Todd. Let's just grab, I guess we can just grab chipset drivers and NVIDIA drivers and start cooking. I probably should do a BIOS update. But I don't think MSI ever was cooking. MSI wasn't cooking 7800 XTs, was it? So I think I'll be fine. What GPU is this? I think it'll grab them all in one go, actually. I just got off work, waiting for the bus now. Oh, you're out and about. Yeah, that's cool. It was. It actually went really well. Everything went fine, other than the wire mess, because I found out that I need 140 millimeter fans. Like you can't put 120. It doesn't even work. So I just left it a mess because I'm going to have to go tomorrow and buy 2 more fans for that and an RGB for that. And like those fans are just going to be leftovers, I guess. I don't know. Just give them to the owner. They can do something with them. Or I'll put them in one of those small form factor. I'll just strap a big ass fan to like this here. Just like a fan on the back. Just tearing it up, I guess. Okay, so did that drive download? Oh, it didn't. Ghost of Tsushima, blah, 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 blah. I've seen that. 3050 is a nice emulation GPU. Oh, yeah, the 3050 is going to be very capable. Again, we're not talking about serious 4K, 155 hertz refresh rate. I will use it for 4K, though. I'll just need to, like, use all of the DLSS, like DLSS Ultra Performance. It'll be fine. It's better than a dedicated integrated graphics, or I can just use native integer scaling and just put my screen at 1080p. 4K and 1080p nest into each other perfectly, so you can often just throw it in 1080p, it's fine. Whereas 1440p looks like garbage on a 4K screen because the pixels don't line up. The only annoying thing I find about AMD is if you're like updating Windows, it will not update the drivers. It's actually infuriating. It'll be like, we can't update AMD because Windows. So I have to like install all the Windows updates before I can install. Oh, it worked. Thank God. I was fast. I think I was slightly faster than Windows. Annoying. Sorry, gotta run. All right, see you, Gamer Generation. Yeah, this has been like, how long have we been here for? Probably about an hour and a half. Not bad. I mean, maybe 2 hours. Yeah, great talking with you as well. We built a whole PC, messy, but the cleanup is later. That would have taken way too long. Built a whole PC while rambling, and it's all new parts to me other than the cooler. I've never used that cooler before. Or I've used that cooler before. The rest was all new. Look at how long this is taking. Okay, well that does its thing. I will get Steam. Steam. I was going to show you the other small form factor case, but it's like kind of a little bit bigger. It's like a small business machine is what I'd call it. And then I have an actual business machine, like a Lenovo ThinkVision that you'd find in like an office or something, or like your parents would have. And the point of that is like you can sometimes get those like refurbed or used, and they come with like that one came with a T4000 RTX 4000, which is for the price I paid insane. How good that GPU is for what I paid. And yeah, I found out I can game at with 4K you can do it, but you need like a lot of DLSS. But I put the screen at 1080p and I was getting like I was getting like 100 FPS native in Ghost of Tsushima. Crazy. So the fact that you can pick up like those business machines and like either just use them as they are with like something like this or a T1000 and just game is crazy to me. Or you can buy one of those machines and just slap in another GPU. I also bought, I'm never going to find it, but I also bought a 1660 Ti, which is a bit older, but a 1660 Ti is no slouch, and it's a small single fan GPU. I wish I could show you. It's actually a really nice looking GPU. It's over there. But it's small, so it's going to fit in these small cases, and it only takes one pin. So I can put that in instead of the T1000. It's probably T4000. It's probably around the same performance with less less VRAM, but it'll just be cool because like you could pick up like a 1660 Ti for like honestly, like you can find them for like $80, maybe 100, easily used. Just like go on Facebook, grab yourself a 1660 Ti, and you can game. And it's not like you're massively compromising. You're still going to get better performance than integrated graphics, and I've shown integrated graphics are very capable. So all right, AMD, I'd like to game anytime now. Okay, there's Steam coming up. That can come out. I was going to use USB-C, but I don't know where my USB-C cable is, so we're going to use USB-A to plug this little heart, my gaming drive in. Very good. Let me log into Steam real quick. We don't need to do that. Finish, restart later. Steam. I'm bringing you guys off the screen so you can't steal my codes. Wait, that's not I can't remember my password. Is that right? I can't remember. Well, we'll find out. Hey, it worked. Okay. Get my little code here. And we'll play some Ghost of Tsushima. Streamlining this baby. I'm also learning for the stream. Like I'm learning how the streaming goes, how to get that up to like high resolution. I'll try 4K next time. And I also want to get better at being fast. Especially with laptop stuff, I can hopefully get a laptop tested in like, an hour and a half stream rather than 5 hours. I'm loving the sound of the keyboard. Yeah, this is the I'll show you. This is the EpoMaker F99X Aula or whatever. And I have custom keycaps, as you can see, that someone sent me, company sent me. I have a video of that coming. That video will probably drop like tomorrow. What is going on here? That is my password. No, it's not my password. Did I change my password? Probably did. Anyways, yeah, so I have a review of that coming, the little keycaps. Can you see them? Is that like as far down as I can show you? You cannot see the keyboard, I'm sorry. It's like completely off the camera in this mess. But anyways, that's the keyboard there. Yeah, so the keycaps, they're called Key Talk. That's the brand. They're really nice, actually. They're like, these ones are like, have like kanji on them, Japanese or Mandarin, I'm not sure. And they're very like vibrant, they had all kinds of different options. I decided to go with this kind of color here because it fit my fit my kind of like theme, I guess, of this keyboard. And I like this keyboard a lot, this Aula keyboard. Like, I really like it. So I decided to get these keycaps because they go with it. I tend to lean a little bit more towards like earth tones, I guess, like retro earth tones kind of stuff. Can you guys see the screen there? Yeah, I guess you can. Retro earth tones kind of stuff. That's my kind of vibe. But this is a really nice keyboard, so I'm going with the pastels. It's like a super nice keyboard. Yeah, I also have 2 more EpoMaker keyboards coming. I just need to restart for the drivers, and then we'll play some Ghost of Tsushima. Can you guys hear the computer? The desktop? It's a little noisy, actually. Maybe if I take that off, that might help. CPU is just ripping air into the bottom of the fan. And I'm going to bring you guys in so you can actually see. Oh, okay. The microphone is kind of by the computer. I didn't plug these into, I think... I might not have plugged them into like the PWM, so they're just like, it's just ripping for no reason. Okay. Turn that off. Turn that off, turn this off maybe? No, that's the one. Yeah, time for some ghosts. You can see yourself in there. The one thing that's negative about AMD 7000 series, is the post time to restart Windows is so slow. Like if you use like a AM4, which I have the other thing, you press power and the system is like on immediately and you're in Windows. AM5 takes so long. Like it actually takes like a minute or 2 to do a restart. It's super annoying. I have so many laptops right now, books on stereo. Behind me, I have 3 14-inch, which I did my last stream. I have the G14, I have the MSI Stealth, I have the HP Omen, I have the, which you guys probably know about all of them because you've watched my stream before. I have the IdeaPad OLED 16-inch here. I have upstairs, which I can't bring right now, a imported ThinkBook 14 Plus, which has an Oculink cable. If you don't know about Oculink, it's a successor to USB. What is this? USB 4. It's not actually like USB 4, but for eGPUs, it has higher bandwidth. USB 4 goes at like 40 gigabytes per second. Oculink, I think, is like 65. So you get much better gaming performance if you're using an eGPU. So that little ThinkBook 14-inch has an Oculink port. I just need to get myself an Oculink dock now, and I can slap like a 1080 Ti or something into it. That'd be really cool. Yeah, sorry, books on Sarah. I have like legitimately outside my office, I have 6 or 7 not unboxed GPUs or laptops. So I'd have to like unbox them to show you. I have a lot of laptop reviews coming. If you guys are subscribed, or if you just pop in from time to time, I have a lot of laptop reviews coming in the very, very near future. After the stream, I'm going to basically eat some like late night food, and I'm just going to absolutely tear out probably some reviews. The Steam library. Look at me. Ghosts of Tsushima. Ghosts of Tsushima. Yeah, get the cloud sync, retry sync. We could set up Afterburner, or we can just use, maybe I'll just use the in-game one, because it'll get boring if I set up Afterburner live, because I'm probably not going to stream much longer. You guys are going to get bored. But I want you guys to see how cool the 7800 XT is. There we go, playing. Let's get some audio. Right? Why not? If I can see what I'm doing here. Warrior. I think there'll be audio. I didn't install the like motherboard driver, so I may not actually have audio drivers installed. It is what it is. We want a game. that out of there. Okay, so 7800 XT, if you don't know, it's a 4K GPU, but it's a 4K light GPU. It's like you're going to probably get like 60 FPS in most cases. A demanding game like this, I expect probably about 60. So let's start with no frame generation, none of that, no VSync, and we'll just try native and see what we can get on like maybe 4K high, and then we can try some FSR. But I think we're going to be at about 60 on a 7800 XT. CPU is overkill, realistically, if anything. It's like the best gaming CPU on the market right now. Oh, that's going to be loud. Yeah. If you guys have played Ghost of Tsushima, I haven't played. I actually own it on PS4 as well, but I didn't really play it. On which GPU would you... Oh, it's so loud. Recommend 4K gaming. Laptop or desktop? Books on stereo for your question about 4K gaming. If you want NVIDIA, desktop. 4070 Ti Super will work too. So look at the price of a not of normal 4070 Ti, because it doesn't have enough VRAM. You need 16 gigabytes for 4K, in my opinion, because the games are getting harder and harder to run. I'm already seeing games exceeding 12 gigabytes or getting very close. So I would recommend a 4070 Ti Super if you're going with NVIDIA at least, or a 4080 Super. 4090 is too expensive, and you can easily 4K game on those. Worst case, you can throw in a little bit of DLSS, and I'll show you that right here with this. This GPU is closest to, I wouldn't really say a 4070 Ti, maybe a 4070 Super. About a 4070 Super, I'd say, is what this GPU is doing here. And I'm going to, can you see that? You probably can't. I'm going to go like this. I can bring in FSR, MSI, but I'm just going to show you what we're getting right here. Come on, stream. 72 FPS, 4K native. Oh, I'm getting caught. Run away. 4K native. Bro, I'm not ready for you. No, I was seen. Anyways, this is a 7800 XT. This is around a 4070 Super, right? So if you're going for NVIDIA, you're going to want to go with a 4070 Super. Sorry, not a 4070 Super. 4070 Ti Super. You'll be good to go because it'll have the same amount of VRAM as this. 16 gigabytes, very important to me, in my opinion. But you'll have more power than this. So you'll be easily cooking at 4K above. And this is native, remember? So, comparison video between Ryzen 8845HS, Intel... Oh. You talking about iGPU or just CPU for Neo Tokyo? Because the performance is going to be really similar. The primary difference with 14th gen is it's going to have really bad battery life, but it's going to have more raw performance, especially if you have a thicker chassis. This is on high too. Wow, okay. But realistically, they're going to perform very similar in terms of raw performance. And yes, 16 gigabytes is minimum. So for NVIDIA, that means 4070 Ti Super or 4080 works. For AMD, like, you just get a 7800 XT, you're good to go. But as Met Prism said, I saw it there, the 7900 GRE is a really good buy-in point if you want to go AMD. I'd recommend it over the 7800 XT. I got this for a good price, but I'd recommend it because it's only $100 more, 100 or so more, and maybe 150 more Canadian. So about 100 American more, and the 7900 GRE smashes 7800 XT in some games. In some games they're close, but there's going to be cases where that 7900 GRE is really good. I had one for like 2 months when I was using my desktop, and it's really good. But NVIDIA, you do have to actually shop up the stack, unfortunately. You can't get a mid-range GPU from NVIDIA if you want to do 4K gaming, because the VRAM is going to bite you in the ass. Getting a 4070 Super and playing at 4K is like an immediate fail. $450 US for Hellhound GRE, which is like 600. That's a very good price. That's like used open box with like a damaged box price for here. 7900 GRE is like probably about 650 to 700 Canadian, which is closer to 520 American. 3060 has a lot of VRAM and Greedia. Nice name. And Greedia. 3060 has a lot of VRAM, the 12 gigabytes, but it just doesn't have the raw power. Like technically it's slower than an A770. I would take an A770 over a 3060, but they're close enough. I wouldn't. It's not an upgrade to go from one to the other. Consider getting yourself a 7800 GRE if you can afford it. Sell your 3060. They're still worth quite a bit of money. This is really dark. Jeez, I can't see anything in this game. I guess it's just the way the game is. Yeah, sell the 3060 if you can. If you can, get yourself a 7900 GRE. You're gonna be laughing. You're gonna get crazy high frames. This game is so dark, and it's not even my screen. If I do this, it might help. This might help. I can't see anything. You guys might see more than I do. Yeah, it's like black. Hold on. Can anyone see anything in this freaking game? It's so dark. Whatever you're seeing is like just what I'm seeing. I can't see anything in this game. It's complete blackness. I guess that's the point. Like I'm a sneaky boy. Sneaky boys like darkness, but like you could give me a little bit of something here. But I mean, here's the point of the video, right? The 7800 X3D CPU is, I mean, it's overkill for this pairing. But you can see here, this 7800 XT is doing really well. I do want to quickly check temperatures. So let's quickly grab, rather than using Afterburn, I'm just going to get hardware info. I'm just going to let it log for a minute. I'm just curious how this case does, because the fans are all running now. This is what I'm going to get out of temperatures, other than the bottom fans pumping some air. When I get the 140 millimeters, they'll put a little bit more air right into the GPU. So the GPU will run a lot cooler once I get those fans in. But I feel like without it, it's going to run cool. So let's get this cooking for a sec here. And then we'll game for a minute and we'll come back. We'll see if the frames. While that does that, I do want to try a little bit of DLS, a little bit of FSR, because we're getting really high frame rates. Oh, let's go higher. Let's go very high, yeah. So we'll go very high. Is there not presets here? Preset. Oh, there we go. So very high preset rather than high. And let's throw on a little bit of FSR. If I can find it. Dynamic resolution scaling, no. Upscaling methods, probably here. FSR 3. Oh, it has XeSS. Oh, sick. I'm going to put in my Intel Arc later when you guys are off stream. I want to see how it performs. Why not? I got the GPU, I got the CPU. I might even make a video. It's been so long since I did an Intel Arc video. I haven't done an Intel Arc video in like 6 months. I might actually throw in the A770. Look at that. So extra, little bit of DLS, little bit of FSR, just quality FSR. Very high max settings, and you probably can't see that in the corner, but we're getting 85 FPS. So, I mean, yeah, this tier of GPU is good for 4K. You just have to be reasonable. The fact that you're not going to get 175 FPS, you're probably going to get 60 to 80 or 100 depending. Do it. All right, I'm going to probably end the stream, but before I end the stream, do you guys want to see me put an Intel Arc in here and see how it performs in comparison? It only takes me like 3 minutes. I feel like it's fun. Let's check the temperatures though. The CPU is like 50 degrees. What was the GPU? Yeah, the GPU. Holy crap! It did get hot. Yeah. All right. We're gonna need those bottom fans. That fan, it's getting almost 100 degrees. Holy crap. Yeah. So this case here, just kind of gently blowing air in a weird angle. There's not a lot of air getting into that CPU. I'm gonna show you. GPU. Sorry. The GPU is getting freaking hot. So you can see here the two fans. Yeah, can you see that? Yeah, you can. The two fans are blowing over here, over the RAM and out the system. A lot of it's being sucked up by this and out of the system, and only really like the bottom of that bottom fan is feeding the GPU. So, yeah, you just want a good experience on 4K. Okay, so books on stereo. Well, you said you can you afford a 4080? If you can afford a 4080 or a 3070 Ti, just buy that. 3070 Ti Super, just buy that. If you want NVIDIA. If you don't want AMD, or you're worried about AMD, get a 4070 Ti Super or a 4080 Super, depending on which one you can afford. They're both very good. You can afford it. Yeah, just get a 4080, man. 4080 Super. Just be done with it. If you can find a 4070 Ti Super for a good price, they're so close. You're not going to notice any difference. Maybe 15% performance difference. But if you can afford a 4080 Super, just get a 4080 Super. Assuming you don't want NVIDIA. AMD. If you're okay with AMD, my friend, you can get a 7900 XTX, which is the top of what AMD has, and it's only below a 4090. It's above a 4080, and it'll save you money. However, if you're more comfortable with NVIDIA, just get a 4080 Super and call it a day. So this is called Display Driver Uninstaller. Intel does not like the existence of other GPU drivers on your system. It will actually like implode. It will get tons of issues. So what I do here is I put clean and shut down. It's going to wipe the AMD drivers off of the system. I'm going to turn the lights on for a sec. And then when I throw in the Intel drivers, it'll be a nice, fresh, clean system. You should do this anyways, if you're switching brands at least. If you're going from... No, you should do it anyways. Like if you're going from a 4070 to a... From a 3070 to a 4070, I do recommend using DDU to clean your system. It just gets the junk off that's not supposed to be on there. And then if you get weird driver issues... you can blame like the driver issues, not because you left residual drivers on your system. So anyways, this is the Intel Arc A770. Objectively, not biased, objectively this is the most beautiful card ever made. It is so sexy. It's a nice clean package. It reminds me of the G14 Asus laptop. Like it's just this beautiful card. Really well cooled metal backplate, plastic backplate, but solid design here. You can feel it's nice structured there. I think it uses glue, so it's hard to take apart, but I mean, hopefully you don't have to. And it's got some nice RGB. It's got an RGB pin that's in the box. I'm not gonna hook it up, but you can actually control the RGB on the GPU, which is not common. So I don't care much, but there are pre-builts that have, so that's why, yeah, you're going pre-built, yeah. So what I would recommend for you, my friend, Books on Stereo, go to, you're American, right? Not Canadian? I just want to confirm that before I start rambling. Because if you are an Americana, American, yeah. So go to the Lenovo Legion pre-built. Oh, okay. Lenovo Legion pre-built on the Lenovo website. If you can't find it or you're curious, join the Discord, which is in my. Oh, it's so quiet. Which is in my profile. Join the Discord, and I'll get you some links or something to like what's the good deal, because they're actually on a good sale right now. Like at the moment. It's hard to reach. They're on a good sale right now. The 4080 Super is on a good sale. So, and they're fully modular. Nothing is proprietary on those Legions. I know because I owned 4 of them. So you're not going to worry about, can I upgrade down the road? Yes, you can. You can just pull down the road. You can just put in different CPUs. You can put in different RAM, motherboard, power supplies, whatever. So you're not locked into that system. But the nice thing is as well, you're also going to have full warranty. That system itself is going to have the full Legion warranty for the life of whatever. You can buy more. So it's kind of a non-headache-based solution. And I found that they perform very well. So it's not like you're getting really hot system components, inadequate shite cooling. I had a 4070 Ti Super one, I think it was, that I reviewed very recently. I haven't published it yet. I'm very impressed with the machine. Very impressed with it. And the prices are like lower than MSRP. I don't think NVIDIA or Lenovo makes money on those. Like when they're on a really good sale, they must be breaking even. Probably to get you into the brand, right? And then maybe buying some warranty. You'll probably buy more warranty because like after a year, your system's still going to be absolutely fantastic. It's not like a 4080 Super is going to be outdated in the next 3 years probably. So at least. So you'll probably buy like extended warranty eventually. So it's like cheaper than building is what I'm saying here. Unless you're really, really, really good at hunting for parts, which you can then get your prices down. It's actually cheaper than just like going out and building on any given day. You'd have to really hunt for sales otherwise. I think the A777LE will be my collector's item in future. Yeah, I'm never selling this GPU. I had an I had an A750 as well. LE, and I sold it. I kind of regret it, but like, I have the A770. It's just literally the same card, just better. But they're so cool looking. I kind of regret it. But I'll never sell this GPU. Unless I need to like feed my family. And YouTube hasn't paid off because people aren't watching my ads. And I'm crying. Then I'll have to sell it. That hard drive smells so weird. Like it came from, I ordered it from Amazon. It smells like perfume, like intensely of perfume. The whole computer is like blowing perfume in my face because of that hard drive. It's so weird. You just joined the Discord. Yeah, you did. It's a cool place. Welcome to the Discord. I'll find you a Legion. When I'm done the stream, I'm gonna go make some food real quick. I'll find you the Legion that we're talking about. A750 won't though, in my opinion, since they are not. Yeah, they are. You're right. They're actually less rare. Because the A770 was sold for such a short period of time, then discontinued, and because of the pricing, I think they didn't sell as well. Even though it's like more VRAM, it's just a great GPU. So you're probably right, actually. It's just not going to be like a collector's item or whatever to the same extent. So that's the, sorry for how ugly the system is, but look at that beautiful, clean system. It doesn't look as good on a white build, obviously. But I had an all black system. I have a video on it. I built a Legion, Lenovo Legion desktop, actually, and I upgraded it. So you can watch that video, man. Books on Stereo. It's a slightly different model. It's an older one. The new ones are actually better than the older ones. But I took that like all black system and I upgraded it, putting in like a more powerful CPU. I put in all kinds of stuff, better cooler, and I put in the Intel Arc. It was like a black obelisk style build. It was really sick. And I did a lot of upgrades in that. But the new Legions are actually better than the old Legions for upgrading. Everything is just like plug and play now. Like literally, you just plug stuff in. Yeah. So I'm in the Intel beta program, but I'm not going to. There probably are I wonder if there's drivers. Hold on, give me a second. I might actually install the beta drivers. They're not secret or anything like that. Actually, they kind of are secret. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm just curious. I just want to see if the Intel beta drivers contain Ghost of Tsushima updates. Intel Arc just give me like 5 seconds. Sorry, I'm just going to be quiet for a second while I do this. Oh, I can install the other ones while we're at it. Because if there's like huge downloads of like beta drivers. Oh, this came out today. Okay, good. Hell yeah. So they released it probably for Ghost of Tsushima. Sick. Okay, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm in the Intel Arc beta, even though I haven't used it in a while. So they would send us stuff because I was doing prolific testing, like constantly testing games. They would basically, I would get the drivers ahead of time, and then I would give bug feedback, like this doesn't work and this doesn't work. And it was very interesting because I could see games being fixed, but when everyone was like dunking on them, and I wasn't allowed to say anything. But they'd be like, this game sucks on Intel Arc. Never use Intel Arc ever again. And it was like, I had the driver that came out 3 days later, and the game was running at like 4 times the FPS. But I was like, I couldn't say anything. That was a weird experience. Oh, Met Prism. Intel Arc beta driver program is not supposed to be shared, even for making performance videos. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I shouldn't do it. As soon as I said that, I was like, no, not on video. Yeah. Fortunately, it looks like they put out drivers. Is that today or was that yesterday? 16th, 2 days ago, which is when Ghost of Tsushima came out. So I'm sure it's in here. That was the launch day of the game. So let's see. But anyways, yeah. So they Intel, when they first came out, their drivers did blow, but they were so fast with updating. Like I remember I did. Oh, it's underway. I remember I did an video for Grand Theft Auto 5, 5 is the newest one, and I did the video and the performance was fine. It was like I was getting 60 FPS in whatever settings, and then that night they put out a driver that made the performance go up by like actually 3 times. And I was like, I literally had just published the video and I was like, oh my god. So I literally went the next day and redid the same video. That's how fast it was in the beginning. They were so fast. Like, there was people testing these drivers, and like I wouldn't even be able to get the video out before the freaking drivers were updating and improving games, especially in like DX11, which was kind of a problem in the beginning. DirectX 11 and DirectX 9 was like bad in the beginning. Like DX11 was hit and miss. DX9 was like actually bad in the beginning, and so you'd play like, I don't know, Halo. Met Prism, I think it was you, was playing Halo a lot, and like I would have no problems, and I'm like, man, what are you talking about? The game runs fine. Maybe like arguing, and then I'd load the game up and it would run like garbage in that like desert level, and then the next week the FPS was up by like 4 times again. It was like we were constantly all over. We were always fighting because we were on different drivers and stuff, and like it would interfere with like the CPU or something dumb. Halo Infinite, yeah, Halo Infinite was bad. Cyberpunk was brutal. Cyberpunk was really bad at first. Yeah, it was like a slideshow. It was also just running weird. It was crashing. Halo Master Chief Collection was like unplayable. I think you showed me that, and I loaded it, and it was like it's not even a new game. I was getting like 3 FPS, and what was the other one? Crysis. The Crysis remasters ran really well because they were DX 12 or 11 or something, and the Crysis originals ran horribly because they were DX 9, I guess. And it was like games were like unplayable. So I made a video where I tested Crysis Remaster versus Crysis Original on the A770 and maybe the 5, I can't remember. And the Crysis Remaster ran at like 3 times the FPS. It was so stupid of a video. Hogwarts was when I realized Intel Arc was good, because AMD and Last of Us, AMD and NVIDIA couldn't get the drivers out. They were like 2 weeks late for those 2 games on the drivers. And I was playing Hogwarts Legacy on the A770 pre-launch. I bought it beta, like I bought the pre-launch video, pre-launch game, so I had it like 2 days ahead, and I was getting like crazy good, like 65 FPS on whatever 1440p, blah blah blah, max settings, and people on Intel, NVIDIA were getting like slideshow stuff, and I was like, okay, so the GPU is there. That's when I realized the GPU is there, but its drivers is really what we were cooking with. Met Prism says Minecraft RTX has 100% uplift in driver from launch to more recent drivers. Yeah, you've been following Minecraft RTX from the beginning, and I tested it a bit. Black Ops 3 was good from launch. Yeah, some games were really good. Excuse me, on launch with Intel Arc. Modern Warfare, on whatever it is, Call of Duty, the newest Call of Duty, whatever it was actually bundled with the Intel Arc, ran amazing on Intel Arc, obviously. It actually had XeSS. Shadow of the Tomb Raider ran so well. Hogwarts ran well. I mean, Minecraft ran, which was interesting at the time. There's a few other games that... Last of Us. Last of Us ran super well on Intel Arc, probably because it had a memory leak, and that was running well. And Star Wars Jedi Survivor only ran on Arc, or super high-end NVIDIA, because it also had a memory leak. Like, you'd watch your memory VRAM going up as you were playing the game, and because Intel Arc, you'd play it at like 1440p, but it had 16 gigabytes, it would take like an hour for that memory leak to crash your game, whereas you'd play on like a 3080, 10 gigabyte, and you'd crash after like 20 minutes, because you'd hit that VRAM, and you'd be playing at a higher setting. So you'd be like 15 minutes in the game, and your thing would crash. That was just a fluke, though. That was just... because it had so much VRAM, it survived. That was dumb. That game was a freaking hot mess at launch. So here's Intel. I haven't used my Intel GPU in a couple months, and I haven't used it seriously in probably 6 months. So you have the overlay there, which is cool. Let's get some performance. Mine is very stable, and runs nice and cool. Nice and cool. I usually go 20 for overclock. I don't need to use millivolt overclock. I can put that all the way up. And we can overclock up to 228 watts. I just do stock overclocking. I know you can... It might be Met Prism, or is it Karath? One of you guys pushed this thing to like 300 watts. I'm too scared to, though, because I'm a weakling. But I know one of you guys did it. Let's play Ghost of Tsushima. Jai Siddharth says, hey, does the Lenovo Legion 7i only have 1600 panel option in the US? Wait, is your question only the US has the 1600 panel, or does the US only have 1600 and doesn't have 3.2K? Because I know in Canada and the US you could get both 3.2K and 1600p. At least you could last I checked. Other countries I'm not sure. I prefer the 3.2K. I have that screen on my ThinkBook 16p over there, which is basically a Lenovo Legion 7i, basically. It has the exact same screens. It has the 1600p screen and the 3.2K screen. I really love that 3.2K screen. 100% DCI-P. It's a beautiful IPS screen. You can't find it. What country are you in? US? Or you have a South Asian name, but I don't know where you live. You could be anywhere. Yeah, let me know what region you're in. So we'll go XCSS. Yeah, quality. You are in US website. They don't have it on the US website. Really? That's weird. It might be sold out. Hold on. Lenovo Legion 7i Canada. Canada, I had it because I almost bought it, and then Lenovo sent me one. 1600p. Oh, the laptop is straight up sold out? No, that's sold out. Gen 9. Let me just check this while you can launch if you want. While that launches, Gen 9. Lenovo's selling out of stuff, by the way, because their stuff is hot right now because their prices are low and this is all new stuff. I'm having a hard time. Like, I bought the Lenovo LOQ that I just reviewed with the 4060, and you cannot get the 4060. It's completely sold out, like in every country. So Lenovo's having a hard time keeping up. This is normal. I mean, you never know how hot an item is going to be. 4070. Yeah, I'm not seeing the screen. Oh, yeah, man, they don't have the screen. It's sold out. The builder is gone. So they're probably out of stock right now. I would just wait, Jai. I would just wait. If you really need a laptop right now, look at the Lenovo ThinkBook 16p, which you can customize. It has the same CPUs. It has the same GPUs. It has the same screens, the 3.2K. It's an all-metal chassis. It actually looks like a Lenovo Legion, other than it doesn't say Legion on it. It's very similar. You can watch my video last year. I did a review of the ThinkBook 16p against the Lenovo Legion 7, head-to-head. I compared them. They are almost the exact same laptop. So that's an option. If you really need it and you got to get the 3.2K screen, you can buy that one right now. It's absolutely available. I know Memorial Day is coming up, so there will be a big... Yeah. Lenovo will just build more, is what it is. They'll just have to build more. The Legion 14 went out of stock and was gone for like 2 months. The 7 Slim AMD was out of stock for like 2 months. It's just takes time. Okay, so we're going to go with the same settings we just played at. So we'll go very high, and we'll go 4K. You think XCSS quality? We did quality FSR, I think. So I have high hopes for this, by the way. This is Intel. If you were just tuning in, let's turn the camera now. We're going Intel Arc, baby. This is my GPU. This isn't going to stay in the system. This system is for somebody else. Thank you. I'll take a look. Yeah, man. Sure. If you're American, you can also join the Discord, the community Discord. It's in my, I don't know, my profile. And there's people from all over the world, but for Americans and Canadians, we hunt for deals. We post deals. There's a lot of Canadians, a lot of Americans. We post deals there. It's a good way to just like chat. And it's not just me. There's a lot of people in there who know what they're talking about, especially about Legions. But it's a good way to find deals, and just because otherwise you guys are in the dark. Like, who are you going to talk to? Reddit? So look at the FPS. Oh, can you see that? 62. What were we getting on the 7800 XT? 84? I think we were getting 84. So 20, not even 20. 25, 25% difference. Let's go outside. That might be a 25% difference in performance. Let's see here. 53 from, it was about 80, it was about 75 to 81. So yeah, we were getting, oh, but that was before I put on full frames. Yeah, it's actually not as different as I thought. We're just at about 60 here. Let's quickly, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's quickly throw on slightly more XCSS, because we're at 4K, and this is a like budget GPU. So we'll go balanced. This will get us at 60. The fact that the game has XESS is a good sign that it's going to be well optimized from launch, because it means they probably optimized the game. Where am I supposed to go? Where'd that lady go? She's like all stealthy and stuff, but like she doesn't tell me what I'm doing. She just whispers stuff. Oh, she wants me to go out here. I remember that, but I don't remember how to get out. Wait, what? Maybe that wasn't where I was supposed to go? I thought she went out there. I wouldn't even try to run 4K on my... It's running though, man. 69 FPS. It's obviously well optimized. Remember, this is a story game. Oh, here she is. This is a story game, so... Return to tail area. I am in the tail area. Anyways, search for your katana. This is like the type of game you're going to be fine at like 65, 70 FPS, so... I'd totally run this at 4K on the Intel Arc. I'm the type, but we've had this discussion before. I'm totally fine with 60 to 75 FPS. I really don't mind. I don't need 100 FPS. So once I hit 60, if it's locked, I'm good. Hellblade 2 is the game I expect A7 to overperform, really. Oh yeah, because it actually recommends Intel Arc. Something's happening. Play native on the GRE at 90 to 120. Yeah, so you'd probably get like 70, 60 to 80 on a A770 maybe. It's hard to transfer because the 7900 GRE is can be very good performance, and the A770 can be up or down. I'm still going to propaganda that 7900 GRE. It's really good. Just checking the wattage. Yeah, we're at 206, so we are using the overclock. Sometimes it didn't used to always stick. We're getting 60 FPS in this cutscene here. The CPU is such overkill for this GPU, which is funny. I should change the stream now, because it was like all AMD, and now it's literally Intel GPU testing time. This game is mad cinematic. Someone told me this game was like a Souls-like, but I don't actually think it is a Souls-like. I think it's just like a... Whoa. Bro, I don't know how to block.
Yes, uncle.
Quick attack, heavy attack, stab attack. Get out of here, uncle. Get wrecked. Heavy attack is right click. Get wrecked. Oh, that's stab. That's quick. Yeah. Run away! Look at these maples. Japanese maples. My overclock on my A770, just a minor, 150 megahertz. Since it's locked at 2500 megahertz. Yeah, I haven't actually done overclocking. I've only done the performance slider, the 20 performance slider, and I've done the wattage. Wait, what? Oh. Comparison video between the Ryzen 45 HGS. Yeah, I don't know what are you talking about, the CPU, Neo Tokyo, or the iGPU or something? I have i7. Yeah, I can test that video for you, man. I'm just trying to think what I have. So I have a Legion 7i that I just got today. I'm sorry, not Legion 7i. Legion 5i that I just got today, non-pro, and it has... Strike me, bro. And it has a i7, 14th gen, and a 4060. Bro, what are you doing? Why are you not swinging at me? He's not swinging. Bro, hit me. It says tap the thing to defense, but he's not swinging at me. It's like a bug. But anyways, I can test that. I have a Legion 5i with a i7 and a 4060. I also have the ThinkBook 16P with the same specs basically, which is interesting. And then I also have, the thing is I don't have an AMD with a 4060 right now. That's the only downside. I have an AMD with a 3050 and I have an AMD with, yeah. So Neo Tokyo, what I can do, CPU. Yeah, so what I can do for you is I can test the CPUs easily. I have dozens of laptops with those 2 different CPUs. I can give you some CPU data if you want. Maybe I'll do a quick video, like a little 5-minute video, 4-minute video, talking about the 2 different CPUs. The only problem is the GPUs will be different because I don't have an AMD machine right now with a 4060 on hand. So it says here, tap right to break the enemy defense and then attack. But the thing is, this punk ass is not hitting me. What am I supposed to block? Oh, he wants me to attack and then break the thing. I see. Yesterday I saw your video. Cinebench score was 1600 performance mode, but with Intel. Oh, that's the LOQ. Yeah, that CPU doesn't run. That's not a very well cooled CPU. Laptop, Neo Tokyo. That's why that Cinebench score was so low. My little wee tiny laptop that I have with a 14-inch actually had really good cooling, and the Cinebench score was like 18,000. Intel will always outperform AMD in laptop when it comes to Cinebench. Just so you know. So where you're getting like maybe 20,000 on Intel, you'll probably get about 18,000 on AMD. That's normal. AMD has more battery efficiency and it has more real-world performance, but Intel has those efficiency cores and has efficiency cores, and the efficiency cores will give you really good like rendering performance. So if you're playing games, it's not going to make a difference, Intel versus AMD, really. But if you're doing video editing, that kind of stuff, Intel will outperform. Tap the goddamn button. Yeah, I was like trying to think at the same time. I wasn't reading it properly. I was like totally misreading what this bastard was saying. I thought he wanted me to block, and I was like, he's not swinging at me. I also don't ever play on a mouse and keyboard, by the way. I always play on I always use a controller. Like, I'll use an Xbox controller. So I'm like, I feel so foreign playing a game like this on my keyboard. Cinebench scores don't matter for a game. Yeah. 7945 HS will be the 13900 in real world, yeah. Also, the 13900 HX is too hot. So it gets hot and it throttles in games, whereas it won't do that. Neo Tokyo. This game looks sick, man. I don't know if you're Japanese, because of your, well, hold on. Dodge with left alt. Bro, I don't play games on keyboards. Unless it's like Baldur's Gate. Oh, he wants me to hit him after. Okay. Get wrecked, you punk. Does anybody actually play games like this on a mouse and keyboard? It's so hard. It's like really difficult. I should have brought my Xbox controller, but it's way in the other room. I'm amazed how well this is running on this Intel Arc. We're locked over 60 this whole time. The GRE would be giving us probably 80. It's definitely like it's a more powerful GPU. It's got to be 25% more powerful than an Intel Arc. Maybe more, maybe 30, maybe even 35. But it's not like it's... Bro, I don't know what you're doing. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, it's just hitting him. Ooh, you got me that time. Oh, he got me that time. I like the Rurouni Kenshin anime a lot. In this game, I haven't seen that anime. The GRA is around double the performance of the A770. That okay, and the 7800 XT is probably about 30% slower than the GRE, depending on the games. Yeah, so it's probably like 50%, probably like 40% faster than the A770, the XT. 40% makes sense. 30 or 40%, yeah, makes sense. It's tracking with the FPS. This is getting 60 where that was getting 85, so that makes sense. I do play games at 4K on the A770, but you need XeSS and stuff like that because it's not. It has the VRAM to play, but it just doesn't have the raw power. If you're playing a game that's more GPU, like lighter on GPU, it's not a big deal. Or older games, you'll be fine. But if you're playing brand new games, I would still recommend 1440p for the A770. 4K is good, but you're going to need scaling like crazy. 6950 XT equals GRE raster, but has the better, but the GR has better ray performance. That makes sense. Yeah, I had the 6950 XT. I compared that to the 6800 XT in a video, and I found the GR to be faster, but definitely RT is similar. Sorry, but definitely the RT is way faster. The GRE has like actually good, respectable ray tracing. I guess because it must have like the ray tracing cores of a 7900 XT. Is that right? 7900 XT has the same ray tracing cores as the 7900 GRE. It might be right. Oh, now we're in a real fight. You're about to die, bro. Oh, I learned from my uncle how to kill you. That was a horrible Japanese accent. Although these people also have a very horrible Japanese accent, so I only feel mildly racist for that. Can't wait for the AC Shadow. It will have similar... Is there? I didn't even know. So there's a new Armored Core game set in Japan? That'd be sick. Not Armored Core. Assassin's Creed set in Japan. I do like the world in Assassin's Creed. It's... I never got into Assassin's Creed... What's the Skyrim one? I don't even remember. Valhalla? Because I heard it was like 300 hours. I was like, nah, man, I'm not playing that game. Yeah. It only has 4 less RT accelerators than my 7900 XT. And this just less memory bandwidth. Yeah. So you're basically getting less performance based on cache and bandwidth. Yeah, that makes sense. And the RT cores are close enough to probably not matter. So the 7900 GRE is such a sleeper. Because people are sleeping on it thinking it's not that good, but it's really good. And the performance for the dollar, for what you're paying, is quite good. I would highly recommend that anyone looking for a GPU right now, before you look at any other brands, please consider the 7900 GRE from AMD. Oh my god, I have to fight 3 of them? Use to target enemies with your sword. Yeah, what else am I going to do? Wait, what? I don't understand. Oh, sick, okay. Try pushing the enemy and attack. Oh, that's cool. It's a little hard to control on the keyboard, but you can select the character you're trying to attack with the WASD. Yeah, if you guys are looking for a GPU, this 7800 XT, as of last summer, was the best value on the market, period. Absolutely outstanding performance. The Intel Arc was really good value at the launch, but right now I would say the 7900 GRE from AMD is the value king. In the mid-high range. Like, it's not a cheap GPU, but for what it is, it's cheap. Like, you're paying around, I don't even know, what does NVIDIA offer at that? 4060 Ti? Maybe a 4070 regular, I think is around the same price. And the 7900 GRE will smash them in raster, and it also, oh, I went the wrong way, and it also has capable ray tracing. You can, what people don't understand is you can do ray tracing on non-NVIDIA GPUs. This Intel Arc is really good at ray tracing, and if you get a higher stack AMD, you can do ray tracing. 7900 XT. Actually, this GPU that the stream started with, the 7800G, 7800 right here, this can do ray tracing, and it does ray tracing better than the 6950 XT I found, at least in the games I tested. Yeah, A770 LE beats 3060 at ray tracing. Yeah, and it has more VRAM and just more raw oomph. So how did he survive that? I like hard slash this man. How did he die? Yeah. I am willing to go AMD. I just want a really good 4K test. Yeah, but for you, books on stereo, because you don't want to build a system, I'd actually recommend going for one of those Legion pre-builds. Is ray tracing really worth the hype? No. Well, depends what games you play. If you play Cyberpunk a lot, yes. If you play like games like Minecraft RT, yes. But a lot of games don't implement ray tracing properly, so it doesn't, like, you're using ray tracing and it's like not doing anything. I find ray traced shadows make a big difference. So I was playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor, And the ray tracing reflections, it didn't really do anything. It just made everything look wet. But then I turned on and off ray trace shadows, and it made a huge difference. Ray trace shadows actually can make a huge, like shadows on faces, occlusions, ray trace shadows under like hang, if there's like a hang over like a building and the rays from the, you know, the light source are hitting it, it really makes things feel more 3D. Reflections are, I think, a personal choice. How much did the LOQ cost me, bro? 1,200 Canadian dollars. And then I had like rewards. They had like Lenovo rewards for like $60 or something, which was really good. For what it is, it's, oops, I wasn't paying attention. For what it is, it's going to be the cheapest. Yeah, it's going to be the cheapest like gaming laptop, I would say, to get yourself from Lenovo, to get yourself a 4060, if you can get it with a 4060. It's like sold out right now. Oh, I don't have any healing items. Am I still enjoying the Legion Go? Yeah, man, I use the Legion Go every day. Oh, well, not every day. Every other day. It's right behind me. I have a video planned where I'm going to be messing with it a bit, adding some more cool stuff to it. But I love the Legion Go, man. I like the big screen. I liked the Steam Deck. I liked the ROG Ally, but the ROG Ally had too many weird quirks. This, what? The screen was too small. I don't know what I'm naming it. Sora Sky. Yeah, Sky. But the Legion Go has such a huge screen and has really nice colors that it's very enjoyable. And it has enough power that you can play modern games and have a good time. It'd be, I mean, more power would be better on a Legion Go, but it has enough power that you're going to be able to play modern games and get, you know, 35 to 40 FPS. You can throw it on 800p, play natively, or throw on a bunch of FSR and have a good time with it. Yeah, I never had a SD card issue at Prism with my ROG Ally, but I was nervous if I would. But I also just found like the joysticks kind of like floaty and weird. Like they didn't have any kickback to them. It didn't have ergonomics. Like the handheld didn't have any butt to it. It didn't have any butt, so I wasn't holding on to anything. The Steam Deck was bigger, which is nice. The Steam Deck is very ergonomic. It's #1 for ergonomic. It's big, but it's ergonomic. The Legion Go, let me show you. I don't know if you guys have ever... I talk about it in my reviews. Like I really get down to the hand feel of a device, because it's not just about the performance, right? It's basically a controller, right? So if you're going to be using a Legion Go or a Steam Deck or an ROG Ally, it needs to feel good in the hands. And like this one here, it has a big butt on it. Here, I'll go with the big camera. It has a big butt on it. So when you're cupping it, there's a lot to grab onto. The only negative is this is sharp. So I have big hands, so it's not a big deal. Like I can come right over without even setting my thumb on there. But if you have small hands, that little sharp area is going to be a bit of a pain. But you can also get, like I have a silicone protector over there. It's off right now because I'm going to be doing a video on the silicone protector. But it's a big handheld, like a Steam Deck, but it has a huge screen. Not quite as ergonomic as the Steam Deck. Definitely more ergonomic than the ROG Ally. And I did play with the MSI Claw at CES, and it's more ergonomic than an ROG Ally, but not as much as this. But these are huge. This is a huge handheld. This is like almost as big as a freaking laptop. So if you don't like big handhelds, the Steam Deck is big. The Legion Go is freaking huge. So, I mean, if you're a smaller person, if you have smaller hands, or you just don't like big handhelds, like maybe you like the PS Vita or something, or like a 3DS, you're going to find the Legion Go to be a monster. But that huge screen it's really nice. Like you don't feel like if you're playing a game with small text on the Legion Go, you actually can read it and you can engage with it. Whereas if you're playing on like a Steam Deck, especially the original Steam Deck, the font is so freaking small. You're like reading it, and sometimes you can't read it. And some games have like interface, and the Steam Deck usually has verified on deck, and it'll warn you if the font is too small. But I find that like those titles, whereas I used to play them on the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally, I can play them on the Legion Go without having that same issue where the font is just big enough, where it's like, all right, I can play all these games. Even like Civilization. I was playing Civilization 6 on that. And that's like a heavy text game. And it was like, I did have the Legion Go pretty close, to be honest, but I could see everything, and touch navigation was okay. Like I don't have fat fingers or anything, but I do have big hands. And navigating on a freaking ROG Ally was brutal. Yeah, yeah. 2,500 by 1,600 on a Legion goes crazy though. You either need to like crank up the FSR. Although older games it can run. So if you're playing like a 2019 game or earlier on the Legion Go, you can often play at 1600p just natively, and it like just tears. Or indie games. I play a lot of indie games or emulation. But yeah, like Ghost of Tsushima at 1600p would run like garbage on a Legion Go. So normally what I do is I throw on a ton of FSR, or what I do is I just put it native 800p, which is native integer scaling. It's like playing at 1080p on a 4K screen. It doesn't look really that blurry at all. And 800p, then you have the same resolution as the Steam Deck, 800p, but you have a considerably more powerful APU. So I often recommend just play at 800p. On modern games, on older games, yeah, you'll be standoff. On modern games, you play at 800p. Older games, you're going to want to play at probably 800p realistically. Or, sorry, older games, you're going to play at 1600p. I don't understand what's going on. Oh, it's a quick draw. Okay, sorry. I'm getting confused. Black Ops 3 might run. Shooters I find run okay because they're not usually taxing the CPU and GPU. One of the worst games on like the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, Legion Go, and MSI Claw is Baldur's Gate, because Baldur's Gate slams the CPU and the GPU at the same time. So does Cyberpunk. And so you're getting like both the iGPU and the CPU are like getting hit. Whereas if you're playing a game that's very GPU intensive or CPU intensive, usually you're fine. Okay, what do I do here? Oh, you release. Murdered this man. Murdered him. Although it wasn't murder, it was self-defense. This game looks really freaking good, by the way. And it runs really well. This is running really well. Sony is not dropping the ball on these titles. I mean, they dropped the ball on like Helldivers because of like the community, like having to have a Sony account. But the games are running so freaking well. I just also bought Horizon Forbidden West, and it runs so well. So Sony is like becoming like a very good a PC developer, where their like games are actually well developed. It feels really buttery smooth. I'm not dropping any frames. It makes sense. Like this game has XeSS, so I think the developers probably Sony worked with Intel a bit to get this working. But yeah, I'm going to play another maybe 5 minutes. I'll kick off. I just actually want to play this now that the 4 hours of story is over. Whoa, I didn't see that guy. I wish there was a way to like if you're getting hit to like elbow them or something, like break their thing. Because I don't know how to roll. You can't roll. You can jump. I guess samurai don't roll. What is this? Samurai stand with honor. At least that's what the last samurai taught me. Whoa, okay. Defeat the Mongols. No, you did. Oh, I died. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, I'll probably just wrap this up. So I started off with this build. We built it on stream with a 7800 XT, which ran fantastic. I'm dying. The Intel Arc is running shockingly well at 4K with XeSS. But XeSS looks so damn good. Like, it looks really good here with XeSS, especially at 4K. MetPrism says, expect Hellblade to be 1440p. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't actually anticipate most games run at 4K with the Intel Arc. If they have XeSS, I usually will do it because XeSS looks better than FSR, in my opinion. I actually think it looks better than DLSS. That's just me. So I can often crank up the XeSS to like performance at 4K if need be. If I'm relying on a ton of FSR and I'm like a performance FSR or like ultra performance, sometimes it starts to look like garbage where you have like fringing on the plants and you get sparkly stuff. Then it's like, all right, I'm going down to 1440p or 1080p. So yeah, man, thanks for joining. This was a random stream. I just decided to build this and I did it live. And I really wanted to test out what it's like to stream off of my DJI Osmo and having a second camera at 1080p. I'm going to try to do more stream for you guys of laptop reviews, like kind of first looks at laptops. I'm going to try to do more of them. And I'm a little bit more comfortable having a better setup now with this here. And my desk can be clean as a result. I can get a laptop out. So yeah, so thank you guys for joining. It was really nice. It's actually fun to live stream, hang out with people. I really actually quite enjoy it. I've only started live streaming recently. It's quite enjoyable to talk to you guys. And thanks for chatting. It's really fun to talk with you guys and just meet people, new people. Now, Books on Stereo joined the Discord. Hopefully y'all can join the Discord. Even if you're not Canadian or American, feel free. But yeah, thanks for joining. Really enjoyed that. Yeah, thanks, Matt Prism. Yeah, you've been to all of them, I think. Homie status. All right, talk to you later.